right, how about we go into the next game? Let's just spectate. I was here to spectate the scrims, and then I just don't know what I'm doing, man. Don't even worry about it. That was actually surprisingly close game though. It was like really rocky, and then man, it was too hard to hit Poppy too. I think the problem was that I was too poor. I was too poor to like actually play it. All right, no worries. Don't you just win the game, you survive? Yeah, if I did. Dude, this lobby is actually crazy. This lobby is actually crazy. It has Soju, Double 61, YBY, and Li Xiao. For getting your brain ready after bed sleep, have you tried creatine? I have. I don't know how much it works. Like, the science on it is really good, but sometimes I take creatine and I don't feel anything, so. All right. So what do we have here? Winner circle. Oh, the problem was that okay, if I go back and look at my items, I needed to do void staff. And my front line was like really bad as well. Yeah, Sanj. I'm actually surprised. I thought that I was going to be strong enough because that was just Gwen 1. I thought I should have actually won. But I guess I also don't have any combat augments. That's another thing too. You have to be consistent with it. I take it every day. I take it every day. I take it the same time every day. So, and I still do. It's actually part of my morning routine. Still not really feeling much of it, but maybe it's because it is working and I just like actually don't even recognize it. All right. Oh, Kurumx is in the lobby. I know Kurum's actually been looking to kind of get some scrims in. All right, does the dashboard work? Let me see. I feel like a lot of people say they don't like the dashboard though. I like it because it helps me see augments like very quickly though. So if I need to see their augments, I can like pull it up real quick. Give me a sec here. This is Kurum, Shimmer Scale Essence, Expected Unexpectedness. Oh, you know what I just realized? I just realized that, oh, what is he gonna get? 2-4. Oh, well, if this was a different patch, you could play Yumi, but you can definitely play that into Malzahar. Living Forge into Flicker Blades. YBY Shimmer Scale Essence. Soju took Exalted Adventure, Katarina, Lux, and Jin. Wait, what is that? Cat, Lux, and Jin? Veteran. Oh, I do have it, actually. I do have it. Okay, so Li Xiao has Prismatic Destiny into Investment Strategy. Welcome back, everyone. Prismatic Destiny into Investment Strategy. Soju took Double has Expected Unexpectedness, and looks like he got gold. Kaito took Protagonist in Perfect Form. Perfect Form is really, really strong. Soju has a really interesting spot. He has Exalted Adventure with Katarina, Lux, and Jin. And I don't even know how to really tie this in. Theoretically, Exalted Adventure is like really good this patch. Excuse me, but not a lot of people know how to play around it. This type of combination. Like, what do you actually go for with this? Isn't he just cooked? Maybe Katarina plus... Maybe just roll for Cat 3, and then you just like roll for Lux or Jin, whichever is less contested, then you just sell it. And then we have Li Xiao with Investment Strategy, Kale with Prismatic Destiny, and then YBY has Shimmer Scale Essence, which is, I guess, good for the Malphite. And Lil Steppy has Tactician's Kitchen, which gave him Sorcerer +1, so he has to play Sorcerer +1. I wonder if he's going to try to play into Sorks and Karma. What up, Solus? How you doing, man? Solus, you're back from Los Angeles? All right. Double has an early smolder. Okay. Is he trying to play Kale as well? No, he's not. There's no way you can contest if Li Xiao's already investing in it. And I guess if you play... He has 5 Kales. Prismatic Destiny investment strategy. The thing is, I don't even think... I think you have to play around the Juggernauts then because you're investing in them. You can't just sell your Juggernauts later on. So that's going to be really interesting, I guess. What up, Data? How you doing, man? Lux Jin Kate. Exalted. It's Cat. It's Cat, not Caitlyn. Wait, is Caitlyn even the set? Oh, she's 3 costs. That's correct. So I was thinking about like the 2 costs. I was like, there's no way that she's like a 2 cost, right? Okay. Flicker Blades, Zaya. All right, so I guess a couple of the interesting setups are like, how does the sorcerer player with the tactician's kitchen play? So do you play Sork +1 into like, is he just gonna, for example, play it as a splash? Or is he gonna actually play into vertical sorcerers and try to play around karma? We'll see. And then YBY is probably re-rolling just because of the way he's holding his units, but we'll see. Kurum, I think, is Mal's 100%. But the thing is, with expected unexpectedness and an early Cassante, that probably means that you play, like, around Wraith Malzahar and not necessarily Heavyweight Malzahar. AKA the line that I was just trying to play, but I failed miserably. Skura, how you doing, man? Good to see you. And then we have Enzo with Flicker Blade on Zaya. So this is going to be fan service. Fan service, Kale, Katarina, Kale. Is this Viego? Maybe Double's going to try to go expected unexpected into Viego. And then we have Zach Hero Augment. So we have like 4 rerollers. I think 2 people who are looking at tempo, which is Kurum and Steppy. And then it depends on like what YBY wants to do, which I think he wants to reroll, and it kind of depends on what Double wants to do, which I think he wants to play into some kind of like Viego 3-cost line. Because the thing is, right around now, if you don't know what you're playing, aren't you just really far behind? I guess he could also play Malzahar, but he has no tiers, and he has no heavyweights. So you hit Lux too. Like if you don't really have a line right now and that you're playing towards, I feel like you're just like kind of in a dangerous spot. So okay, let's see if Steppy can keep this going. Yesterday was hype. Yesterday was pretty fun. Yesterday was pretty fun. If you guys missed it, we watched the Tacticians Cup finals, which is the tier 2 circuit. Tacticians Cup used to be like the actual pinnacle competition. That's where you would see all the top dogs play. But now that is the tier 2 competition. This weekend is TPC. So that was all just preamble for this weekend. Oh, Steppy lost his streak. He prioritized Jewel Gauntlet. And he lost, but that's probably okay. I wonder if he was supposed to like slam Sunfire instead. That looked like it could have been Sunfire diff. And if he 5-streaked, it would be a different story. That lack of a 5-streak is a really big deal. This guy should cast events. You talking about me? No, man. I'm washed. I am washed. Now I just sit here and react and just let Broseph say all the smart things. I just basically facilitate now. Broseph comes on and says smart things. T-Lige joins and just sends good vibes. Soju and Kurum join every now and then to complain. Disso comes in to dunk on Twitch chat and just call everyone wrong. Accurately describe how wrong everyone is. And I just sit here twiddling my thumbs. Wait, what? I banned this guy? Oh, sorry. Wait, what? How did that even happen? Sorry, man. I don't even know what happened there. I think I accidentally was clicking around and I okay, this chat window is literally right next to my screen and it's borderless. So I think what happened is I clicked into the chat window and I somehow clicked the button that banned you. My bad. Sorry. Don't make me do it again, by the way. Just saying. That was on me. No, I can't accept responsibility. I'm a TFT player. Yeah, I think double is committing to VOD. I mean, that is something like basic. Oh, we also got 2 dupes. Oh, that makes sense. It's expected unexpectedness. Expected unexpectedness gives you dupes a good number of time on stage 3. So that's pretty heads up. I was like, is it VOD? But that does actually make sense. This is Li Xiao rolling for days into Kale. Probably anything. And the nice thing about rolling for days is it doesn't actually dip into his investment strategy. So that's the first thing that I see. You could also take just straight up gold. But isn't that just less than rolling for days? Rolling for days is just like better, I think. Oh, he's gonna take second wind. Oh, because second wind has synergy with investment strategy. Oh, so he's just taking straight combat. So they value the combat over the econ. Soju's taking augmented power, rolled, still on Katarina 1. I think Soju's dead. Rigged shot. Oh my god. It all worked out. For double 61, he has rigged shop and dupes. That's crazy. He's rolling right now to see if he can like spike the 3-cost shops. YBY also took augmented power, so we had 2 people with augmented power. Keepers. Rolling for days. Find your center. Rolling for days. This is the last game? I think it might be, yeah. The score sheet, let me see. The score sheet actually kind of hinted, the score sheet actually hinted that they might play 12 games today, but that's a little excessive, don't you think? Having them play 12 games in a day. I guess some people want to scrim 12 games. WCD1's going to go for Shin Zhao 3. So an interesting variation of VOD reroll is that they actually play VOD and Lux duo. Okay, he has 7 Shin Zhaos. You might as well just go for it now. Oh, and because he's rolling on 6, he has rig shop odds. So he's actually rolling for Shin Zhao and he's rolling for VOD as well. Like there. He's dipping here. Lux. This is really interesting roll timing. This is really interesting roll timing for double 61 because he just snapped his loss streak. Then he won. And then he lost again. And then he's like rolling and dipping below 50. I think he's rolling to see if he can get VOD 2. Because without VOD 2, he's just gonna be really weak on stage 3. So that's probably why he rolled. Very, very unusual timing. But I think it kind of makes sense a little bit. He felt the wave coming. Vibes-based TFT. People are so desperate to get back to like intuitive TFT instead of like, you know, theoretically optimized and solved TFT through stats and data and guides that they're just literally just making up theories like wave theory now. Just making up stuff. They're so desperate to get back to the old days. Okay, how are other people? Let's check in. Wow, Kurumx got an artifact off expected unexpectedness and got Blighting Jewel. He got an artifact on unexpected on 3-1. That is insane. Kaido with protagonist, find your center Zach. What the heck? Why is everyone cheating? This is crazy. Kale. Malzahar too. And then we have Flicker Blades, Morello, Zaya. This guy is playing Sorcerer Janna. He's just cooked, man. Little Steppy is me. This guy is just going to get bullied out of the lobby. That guy is probably 7th or 8th. It depends on how Li Xiao does. So Li Xiao actually hit the KO. So now the question is, can he get to 9 reasonably? I do like the prio. Wait, is Kian still here? Kian said Rageblade is not bis on anyone. Are you not going Rageblade on Kale anymore? Or is he just like basically saying that Rageblade is not bis on Zaya and he's just like tilted when people keep saying, why not Rageblade? Why not Rageblade? Why not Rageblade? You have Sivir 3. Gnar 3. Okay, Kurumx actually lost. Who did he lose to? Oh, he lost to the Zac player. It makes sense. GS red buff is probably better. Is it? I mean, he has critical threat, so it's kind of like he has dual gauntlet. Not really. GS is so good. I mean, the base stats on it are just really high now. 30% damage jam against tanks. It's a lot. Yeah, he just gets melted though. I mean, Kurum's board is crazy. The only reason why he lost is because he went up against protagonist Zac that just jumps to the back line and kills him. I think Li Xiao's bot. I think the bot 4 players are Li Xiao, Soju, Steppy, and someone else. Either YBY or Double 61. But I feel like Double 61 actually is very close to spiking. So I'm not worried about him. Soju is... He has 3 cats. What is going on here? You know why? It's because the lobby is not really rerolling a lot right now. Kaito's pushing levels. Kurm is tempo. Enzo is rerolling, and he has his living forge, by the way. YBY is rerolling, but he only rerolling 1 cost with Jin. Steppy is tempo. Double 61. Actually, I guess he's rolling for 2 costs as well. And Li Xiao's only rolling for Kale. So there's like not that many 2 costs. Like no one's playing Kaisa, for example. And Kaisa usually pulls out some 2 costs. So you roll down here. He has 8 Luxes. Okay, Lux 3. And he's just 2 cats off now. Wait. How many is he off? He's 1 off cat. You got it? Oh! 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 Oh, dear. Oh. 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 I didn't see his reaction to that one. That's not good. Wait, did he? Oh, I was like, dude, it's, Twitch has been really laggy for me lately. He actually probably didn't say anything. I think he's actually trying to lock in. Worst cash out incoming. All right, what was his goal? What was his cash out? What was his cash out? Radiant items. That's pretty good, actually. Probably don't need max cap or invested. Maybe you hold the line. Oh, the thing is you have to backline the cat, though. I think I'd roll this all. I think I would actually look for, like, Radiant Refactor. Invested plus. Okay. What does he want the free rerolls for, though? Maybe he just wants to push levels. Okay. Li Xiao took reinforcement for the gold. Double 61. Took last second save. Radiant. Oh, Radiant Refactor for YBY. And he went Radiant Stone. What is going on here, man? Radiant Stoneplate, Death Defiance, Lichbane. Oh, he reforged his Moguls and Gambler's Blade and got Lichbane and Death Defiance. Oh. Weird. What a weird game. Sniper's Focus and Flicker Blades, Tesla Coil. Kurm got Tiny Team. So he's going to try to play it into, like, Malzahar Jinx, like I said. And then we got Ring the Bell with the heavyweights. Stretchy Arms Viego doing his thing, though. Double 61. Did not have the Rage Blade. Soju lost again. I'm not so sure about this invested plus. What do you mean by tempo? Choosing to push levels. Tempo just means there's a lot of definitions of tempo, especially in TFT and strategy games. But the easiest way I can summarize a tempo based opener is like you're just trying to stay ahead of the lobby by like pushing levels and playing strongest board, versus rerolling is like staying lower levels. So it's like reroll versus tempo. And then there's another concept of tempo of just like trying to stay on pace with the lobby. It's like a term that's like often borrowed from like chess and a couple of other games, where like basically it's like a concept of just trying to stay moves ahead. And when people say like tempo of the lobby, it tends to mean like how fast everyone hit. So if everyone rolls at 3-2 and they all upgrade their board, that's a faster tempo or a higher tempo lobby, versus like people all greeting and fast nining, never rolling, and like waiting till stage 4 to spend all their gold. That's a lower tempo lobby. Okay, Soju won his fight, but I'm pretty sure Lil Steppy is just like dead. His board looks pretty bad. He took double keepers. Tactician's Kitchen. Li Xiao is level 8, 0. So I think he's also cooked. He can't get to 9. So it's Li Xiao, Steppy, Soju, and then one of these guys. YBY doesn't seem particularly very strong to me, so I think he might be bot 4. I think that his setup is bad, and I think double ends up top. I actually think the top 4 and bot 4 are almost locked in. Like Kurum and Kaito are 100% top 2, top 3. And then it's like these guys. I mean, Protagonist is just so gross with Zach. It's just like unbelievable. If you get this off of Zach and you have remotely playable items, it's just unbelievably busted. It feels like reroll comps have better tempo than 4-cost comps, even without even hitting this patch. Well, yeah, that's just like the way that it's balanced right now. But like we're talking about the concept of tempo, which is why I said that there's multiple definitions of it. Kind of like how people say flex and it means multiple things, or how TFT players say I'm 8th and that also usually means multiple things. There's just a lot of different ways that you can describe things. Okay, can YBY do anything here? I think I think he's. I think Soju's basically playing. Everyone's just playing for like a 5th. They're just trying to like outplace the other low rollers. Okay, this guy clumped for the Katarina. That is not good. Also, Soju's playing Trickster, but he's not solo frontline the cat. Shouldn't he be solo frontline cat with Tricksters? Steppy is dead. Super dead. Li Xiao is dead. Super dead. YBY is dead. Super dead. You know, Soju might probably 5th. Wait, double actually lost. Maybe he gets a 4th. He might be able to scam. The thing about Soju is that he has Tricksters. Trickster Katarina, so I think the optimal way to play it is like put it in the center and have her TP to the back. So for example, if he TPs to this Malzahar, this Katarina could dash and just instantly kill Kurum's carry. But like based on the way it's positioned right now, it's not gonna happen very quickly. All right. I mean, doubles board looks pretty solid. I'm surprised that if he bot 4, just because he hit Viego, Shin Zhao, and he hit like the 3-star Udyr. He's actually encountering a pretty common problem, which is if you put Socialite on Xin Zhao, it like makes it really awkward for the Socialite value. He actually took off Socialite for that very reason. Like Xin Zhao being your main tank and Socialite is like kind of awkward. I mean, Soju actually has a strong board, and the Exalted Adventure with the cash out is good. I think he's top 4. I think he's 4th. Okay, YY is down for the count. What do you like more, casting or playing? Me? I mean, I enjoy both. Are you talking about like playing the game or competing? I'd probably say that, because that's different than playing. I would say that I enjoy commentary the most, because that's just like, that's what generally gets me the most excited. I also enjoy playing the game as well, but like, I think I don't really enjoy one or the other more. I think I enjoy having a balanced approach to it. I think if I start casting too much, I like start getting the itch to play, and I think if I start playing too much, I feel like I fatigue and burn out. And then competing is fun, but the problem with competing is that I kind of have like, I like really want to do well when I compete, and I don't feel like I can ever get into, or rather I feel like it's hard to get into like a good competing form. And so for me, competing is something that like I have to invest a lot into. So it's like kind of hard to like want to compete very often, because it kind of takes a big, it takes like a big emotional investment. You know, when like your friend, like when my friends ask me like, oh, do you want to do like a D&D campaign? And I'm just like, oh my God, that's just like so much time, man. Like, you know, or they're like, oh, let's like play the new season of Path of Exile. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean play the new season of Path of Exile? Do you just have like 500 hours that you can just throw away? Like that? That's how I feel when people are like, do you want to compete in TFT? I'm like, well, there's like, you make it sound like you just show up and do that. I feel like I have to invest a lot. Yeah, I actually think if Soju positions, he can win this fight. I think like he's not positioning to assassinate the Malzahar. To them people without kids. Yeah, exactly. A D&D campaign is 4 hours every 2 weeks. Yeah, but but you're committed every 2 weeks. You sound like the car dealership. Oh yeah, you know, it's just like a 0 APR financing for 5 years. It's like, yeah, but I'm paying you like hundreds of dollars until I die every month. Like, oh, it's no big deal, man. You can just you get no interest rates for a few years. I'm just like, no, man, I can't. Now I just owe you for the rest of time. You can just show up and do that? Yeah, but then I don't have fun. Like I don't have fun if I just show up and I go 8th. I mean, I think chat has fun. They love when I go 8th. They tend to like that a lot. Remember that time I took branching out and I went 8th? That was really fun. Okay, Soju versus Double. Loser goes bot 4. Okay, this is a matchup where Trickster doesn't really matter very much. Also, I think Double very wisely spread out his front line. He actually did something kind of clever, which is he spread out his units so that Katarina doesn't get optimal AoE. That being said, I think Cat with Radiant items is just a higher baseline than Viego. Oh! 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 Wait a second, positioning diff. I think he got cleared, unfortunately.
Bro, if my Yumi's on right side, I can actually win this fight, man. Also, what's it called is completely fucking useless in this matchup. I mean, honestly, isn't that actually pretty good? 5th place? I mean, that's pretty good, man. It
is pretty good. 5th place is not pretty. Is pretty good. Also, I think that he could have. I think he could have beat Kurum that one fight. I'll probably tell him. But like, he needs to solo frontline the cat when you have tricksters in that spot, because you basically scam so many fights. He just trickstered IRL. Trickster griefed him. Well, yeah, but because that's the thing. Trickster mid-fight is so much worse than the beginning of the fight. Yeah, rub it in his face. Nah. The thing is, I'm still Soju's coach. And do you think the coach just rubs it in to his player's face? Steph Curry misses a shot. Steve Kerr walks over and just be like, ha! You thought you were clutch, huh? Yeah, you suck. You're never winning a ring again. You're stuck with Draymond Green for the next few years until you retire. Like, what's the point in doing that? Don't rub it in his face. Do scores in Scrim matter for regionals? No. This is just purely to see how players are prepping for this weekend. So I guess is Soju done? He's just solo queuing now. Yeah, so tournament's over. Or the mock tournament's over. I mean, you definitely can talk to players and humble them, but I mean, isn't the whole point of coaching to like help the players? And sometimes doing that kind of stuff is not helping them. Like, if you think that's helpful, but there's like timing. There's a time and a place. Also, there's like if you say it to him while he's streaming, it's like less likely for it to actually land. Believe it or not, it's something that's kind of hard to explain. But basically, when you're streaming, at least when you're streaming a game like TFT, there are so many things that you have to juggle and balance that you're less likely to retain information if you're a person that like yaps a lot and like talks a lot about the game. If you're a person that's like generally pretty quiet, like you just kind of like, if you're like dish soap, you just sit there and you just talk whenever you feel like you have something to say, and otherwise you don't really say anything. Same thing with Weijin. You can be a lot more in like information absorbing mode. But if you yap as much as Soju, the reality is a lot of times you just kind of forget things. Because it's hard to retain everything. Dude, I think Kurum just is like, he just like snowballing the game. He got this Malzahar with Blighting Jewel and then just won the game. His expected unexpectedness gave him a Cassante, and then his expected unexpectedness gave him a Blighting Jewel, and then he had Rolling for days, and then he won the game. And he had Tiny Team as well. Tiny Team Jinx. Well, you know, Zach 4 actually gave him a run for his money. Holy cow. Dude, this Yasuo skin is so extra. Dude, Kurum is 81 winning the game. In an ideal world, it's a tough line to walk. It could be good motivation to the right players. Well, yeah, I mean, the coach's job is to help player optimize performance. That's what it comes down to. And some players want, they want or need that kind of tough love. But what a lot of people are advocating, like the equivalent of what I would be doing if I were to like try to do it while he's streaming, would literally be to like, while a sports reporter is like talking to the player, I walk over and tell him what he did wrong. So if LeBron is doing an interview and then JJ Redick walks over like while he's talking to a reporter and then like say like, yeah, you know what went wrong in that game, it's just not the time and place. If you're doing it for the content, for the clip, then sure, but it kind of depends though. Like philosophically, we are like that's what I'm talking about, like helping players improve, but also, you know, we're both people who stream, for example, for a career, so it could just be that I'm not going to him coach the players up. Is you coaching Soju just practice for raising your kid? No. Me raising my kid is practice for raising Soju. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. Seraphine 2. Kurumx actually lost. I guess in the middle of the stream, our coach would call us absolute trash in the middle of games, such as the whole arena could hear. Yeah, that's not, I don't agree with that. That sounds like that coach. I mean, that does not sound like a coach I want to play for. That sounds like that guy plays League of Legends. He sounds like my jungler. It's like in the middle of the game, we're trying to play the game and just like, you're trash. Who wants to deal with that? 6 Wraith, oh man, like, I mean, I feel, oh man, so sad. So sad. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I actually think my previous game that I played was actually pretty, like, I got to a pretty good board stakes I high rolled. And if I just like manage my items a little bit better, because I'm watching the way 6 Wraith fights are flowing and they're really strong. Wow. Dude, this Zac just ain't dying. Okay, Kurumx is level 10. Kaido's playing Critical Threat with Socialite. Shadow Clone and Unstoppable. I think maybe Kurumx should actually get his fruit off of Cassante and try to put it on Varus too. Oh, I think that's exactly what he's doing. Or at least doing something else. Like, I don't think Unstoppable is doing enough here. I don't think these are particularly good. He has 4 fruits. What's he rolling for here? Zyra 2, I suppose. He kind of has to go quickly. There's actually a lot to do this turn. Bludgeoner. GS. Okay. Went for max crit. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a lot to do, but looks like he ended up just kind of keeping it simple. It would appear as if Zac is too much. I lost again. Is it me or does it feel like the fights are getting less close? Is there some kind of scaling that I'm missing? Like, I guess he has 3 items on Zyra too. This guy has Deep Abyss, Red Buff, and Morello. Stage 7 is crazy. Well, these guys were basically like 80 HP and 90 HP, and they just like, I don't know if you guys remember, but Steppy, Lisha, YBY, Soju died like 15, 20 minutes ago. Soju's almost at stage 3. I mean, not really, but. Is it purely like Zac RNG, like where Zac jumps? That might be it. Wow. Man. This protagonist Zac thing is just so busted, man. It's just so busted. All right, scrims are over, you guys. Scrims are over. GG's. Okay. Okay, so we'll take a look at the score sheet real quick. Just want to do a quick temperature check. Do you guys want to... Wait. What? Do you guys see what I see? Huanmie, the #1 point scorer, went 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 8. Wait, what? This guy went 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. What did he play? He played Malzahar reroll, Kaisa, Jinx, Luchador. Interesting. Crew, and then Kaisa. Oh, what the heck? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 8. All right. Precedent with a 38 bomb today. What did Precedent score? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Jadu Sword, double 61. This is a good list. Wow, this list is good. Wait, where's NA? NA second and NA 16th. Wait, what is this, man? Dude, NA went second and 16th. We got 2 players in the top 16. Oh no, we have JRC. We have JRC as well. What happened to the rest of us? Dissel didn't have a good day. Hannibal didn't have a good day. Kurum didn't have a good day. Oh, Kurum at least got that first at the end. Oh man. Okay. All right. So for our second phase of today, do we want to watch China, or do you guys want to play some rank before it? I think we can watch some China for a bit. There's only 5 games that they played today, so I'll let you guys vote real quick, and then I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break because I drank a lot of caffeine. All right. See, CN Huya Cup or ranked. CN Huya Cup and ranked. Type 1 or 2 to vote, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom and run some ads. BRB. BRB. All right. All right, where are we at? Wait, what the heck? It's a dead 50-50. It's a dead 50-50. Whatever number China is. China is #1. The poll that we have... Wait, where's the poll? The poll that we have is... What? What up? What up, Milk? How you doing? Is Frodan still on Vitality? You know, that's a really interesting question. Shouldn't you know that answer? You need coaching? Wait, seriously? All right. Looks like it's slightly in favor of China. What's the read? I mean, do you want to watch this Chinese tournament with me? And we'll see. Oh, wait. People want to play ranked more? Okay. Okay. It looks like ranked is winning out a little bit. So if you guys are welcome back from ad break, we're voting right now, 1 or 2. If you want to play, if you want to just do some ranked games, or you want to watch the China Cup. China Cup has, this is basically what happened yesterday night. So we could watch the CN tournament meta a little bit, or we can just jump into rank and just play some games. So it's a pretty close vote, but it looks like overall ranked is winning out. So we'll play some ranked games, I suppose. Don't worry, we'll do the CN tournament, but maybe I'll just play like a few games. Also, maybe we can learn a little bit about what the CN meta is. How about your vote counts as 5%? It's actually so close. It's actually so close. What up, Kurum? How you doing, man? This patch is hard. Wow. Okay, the poll was actually so close that this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. We'll watch a couple games of CN. If we're not vibing with it, we'll just jump into rank. If they're just like clearly not, if they're clearly doing clowny stuff, it's for fun. There's win trading. There's punishment for bounties and stuff like that. We'll dip. We'll watch like 1 or 2 games and see how it goes. So let's see how it goes. But because it's so close that wait, I need to log in real quick. Okay, I have to log into my WeChats. Give me a sec, you guys. Dude, I don't have let's see, scan. Oh. Dude, I haven't logged. Okay, hold on a second. What is China requires you to like use your phone number to lock in or something like that. So I have to do that for a sec. What is WeChat? WeChat is like WhatsApp. If you guys ever use WhatsApp, 548086. 5480. Okay, that was a. That is not my phone number, but whatever. Let me scan that real quick. Let me log in. Wait, I have to log in via WeChat here. Okay, so you scan this, and then I should be able to log in. Boom! I'm in. Wait, where is it? Okay, and now I should have quality options. Wait, what? Refresh? Oh, accept. Wait, refresh again? Hey, I thought I logged in. I did not. All right, give me a sec. Sorry, guys. I thought I had this all set up, but I guess it logged me out. All right, now I'm in. WeChat is basically like their version of Twitter and X. Okay, the quality options are better now. Boom. We can watch in 1080p. Wow. Oh, wait, they have MoGG. This guy's a pretty good player from Taiwan commentating as well. Okay. WeChat's basically like Twitter. It's like, except WeChat is also used for not just messaging, but also you can pay people with it. It's also like the way they post content, social media, and a bunch of different stuff. So it's kind of like their one app for everything on phones. Okay, so there's a lot of good players in this lobby. There's like Guan. This guy won regionals back in set 12, or sorry, set 13. He's also on Weibo, who just won EWC. He's very good. This is a longtime competitor. His name is HereWeGo. He's made worlds multiple times. Oh wait, I should go top left. Sorry, you guys can't see it. This player's name is Carelessd. He's also a longtime player as well.
所以还是往羁绊上面去啊。其实讨论到羁绊的话，我感觉这版本可能最有意义的，或者说最好的一个大羁绊，从数据表现上来看是斗魂。不知道教练怎么看待斗魂的这个版本的表现呢？
斗魂在这版本上面迎来了不错的增强，而且新改动的装备像蓝 buff 的增强。
Is Ironbog playing? No, Ironbog's from Hong Kong. This is China,
在6跟8之间有一个很大的
which
所以说斗魂在这版本能玩
is not the same region as
里面的情报，如果
as
发
Hong
了过
Kong.
场，我感觉大家很大概率会有多家去考虑到斗魂。
My overlay doesn't work. I think I have to pull a
金
different
色的
one
强化，
here.
值得等待。
Okay.
这边大家
All right, here's the augment selection.
对方奖励是什么？
Twilight Assault Shen.
胜了
Okay.
直接好像是选了
Worth the wait. Hey, what does this guy get with worth the wait?
第一个发的是一个重铸器而已，没什么影响。
外面有2家专属强化了，我刚看到好像还有
Too much value. I mean, a lot of people just snap called too much value into reroll,
金色比较
Slam him
就是很容易会有
into
在
mech.
原先的低费堵阵的情况底下，再多了圣位。
This guy can take tower defense? There's no way. This guy rerolled too much value for tower defense?
挺强的，对吧？
Is this guy insane? Wait, didn't he have tower? Didn't he have too much value?
和位的强化
What? He rerolled too much value for tower defense. That is ridiculous.
椅子这版本挺强的，对吧？之前说无人
I feel like most players would look at that spot at high elo and just be like, that is just strictly wrong.
可能会误抓对
Are
方。
we playing on the same patch? Are they playing on? They have to be. They took Mundo Hero augment.
一人3张。
就对，不要拿第4张。
He must have scouted and seen something. He must have scouted and seen something, or he just thinks tower defense is just that good.
因为之前看到比赛里面有说，
He needs direction. Too much value is direction. It's reroll direction.
好像会
It's economy.
会不会不要在第一局上来就先树敌？
I guess he's like thinking that he has Infinity Edge and the rerolls around Infinity Edge were all taken.
2、3局换桌的瑞士
Maybe like Kaisa is taken.
因为 CN 一直以来打的这种像平常
This is Huanmie. Huanmie took Twilight Assault.
如果第一局上来先给别人留下了一个很不好的印象，后面几局确实会容易有点招惹到别人哦。
就是不知道要抓什么牌的时候，你刚刚抓过我。
It would be cool if they added subs to VOD for other regions. What do you mean?
要先蹲3点
Like subtitles?
打工的，不然他中期会没有办法。
I mean, this is just live commentary. What you're asking for is AI translation.
玩到狭路了。
And they actually did do that. One time for a TFT Twitch tournament,
少了明亮。
they actually had AI do live translation for Chinese commentary. And let me tell you something, it was the most funny shit I've ever seen in TFT. It was just it just sounded like my great grandpa talking about video games. It just didn't even make sense. Like it was just nonsense rambling.
是这个大家帮忙绿牌。
I was like, what are you even saying? What up, Raptor? How you doing?
那他就必须要骑到前面打一个大连胜。
对，而且他也合了10项鬼，他这把目前看起来是。
How are people commenting on your guide? I saw the guide, and the one thing I would say is that the guide is really, really, really long. I would, if I were to, I guess I could, probably too late now, but I would say one piece of feedback is you probably have to like break it up into parts, because that's like, I tried reading it, I was like, oh man, this is like so long.
这里是一个圣盾的装，其实圣盾的装主玩卡莎有点用不太到，可能会有看到比较特别的阵容出现，就是高圣盾卡莎之类的。
或者说就单纯跟凯南平两支，然后就相当于当多一个单位去用。
Even if it's the best movie of all time, you can't have a movie be like 8 hours, right? Imagine if The Godfather made you sit through everything in one sitting. I think people would watch it a lot less.
因为在外面有3到4家玩2费卡的时候，其实玩3费卡是个很差的局面。
对，节奏会被压缩，而且这把是战力比订阅，所以等会有机会发到转职的。
All right, here we go.
那些2费的。
Taking a look at the augments here.
比如说像蒙多拿到专项激斗士的转职就变成超。
Worth the wait, Twilight Assault. This guy took the strongest survives into Kaisa. So that's probably why. So LiTuChuan must have saw a lot of people take. Zaya's taken, Crew is taken, Kaisa's taken, Mundo's taken, Twilight Assault is taken. So then he's like, what do I play then? I just play some vertical. But skipping too much value in general, I guess, okay, let me think. If that's all taken and you can't play like Mundo Jin, you can't play Kaisa, you can't play Crew, you can't play Zaya Rakan. Couldn't you theoretically also just like do something and get like free rerolls with like Malzahar? How many Tugoks you play? You play Kabuko plus Oh, nothing. I guess the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Oh, you could play Lux reroll. You could play Lux Shinzao and go for Lux and then eventually go for Viego 3. No, I think Lux actually could be real. But again, he didn't have items for it. He had like sword, glove, and vest, so. Okay, this guy is 100% fan service, right? Double Trouble. There's only 2 Double Trouble comps you can play right now, which is Mundo Jin and Zyra. Solo told me if I ever play Lux reroll, he will hurt me. Wait, what? That doesn't sound like something Solo. You think? Do you think Solo would actually commit acts of violence? What if I told you that Lux reroll is actually something that people are spamming right now? Look at this guy, Blazer. Lux, 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 and he's climbing. So I don't know. I think there's actually something there. There's actually something there. Did Disrupt just win second within Scrims? I think Lux reroll actually is a thing. The thing is, I think it's also hybrid Viego carry. Because if you look at the profile I just showed you, go to all the Lux games. Who's his duo carry? Lux, Viego 3, right? Lux, Viego 3. But he plays Lux as the primary. Lux and then Viego 2. Lux, Viego 3. Lux, Viego 3. So he definitely like. I think the reason why it's like a little bit misunderstood is that I think you're supposed to hybridize it with like a Viego, and that's where I think the too much value could be good, right? Is the new power up that good? I look at the stats for 2-star Lux, and then everything looks like an AVP of 5. It could be that you might be looking at the wrong stats. You can't just like look and say 3-star Lux. You have to look at 3-star Lux with certain context of it. Also, I have to say something about looking up stats. Is that right? I think this set in particular, this might be the most fake stats, or stats could be some of the most misleading this set, because this set is like dependent on whether or not you're playing like the optimal setups. Like the stats on certain comps look terrible if you build the wrong items, if you pick the wrong power-ups. Mendrick, thank you for 6 months, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Love you too. So some things look terrible because they just literally aren't playing the right setups at all. So you have to be really mindful about looking at stats of unoptimized comps. If you look at things that are meta, those stats are real, right? So if you look at Zyra stats, you cannot mess up fan service this patch. You just can't. Like if because when you get fan service, you're guaranteed 2 fan service, so you're not gonna mess it up. So that's pretty much like figured out. But a lot of people don't understand like Lux very well. Carelessd went to the CN circuit. He did. Actually, like there's a lot of players that are like that. JRC went from the CN circuit to NA. Also, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Carelessd has a nice haircut. This guy is so much better. Like he's making everyone else look like we're a bunch of homeless bros. Do you think identical boards with different power-ups could be the difference between first or 8th? Yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure power-ups, if you really think about what they do, fan service is just a hero augment. And so if you're like, basically what you're describing is a comp with 2 hero augments up on the opponent. Will that be a difference between first or 8th? Yes, 100%. I'm pretty sure bad fruit selection is the #1 culprit for why some comps might perform good and bad, and a lot of players don't understand it. I think augment selection is also part of that, but I think items are actually not as big of a deal. It's like really about fruit. But the thing is, once everyone is playing at the same level of like they're picking the correct fruits, then it becomes about augments and items and stuff like that. But I don't blame players for not knowing, because there's one really frustrating aspect. There's one really frustrating aspect of fruits is that a lot of them actually have bugged interactions or unintended interactions. So, for example, Mage on Malzahar should theoretically be one of his best, because it's for the same reason Shadow Clone is. You just apply his his infection twice. But apparently, it's right now bugged where he's not double casting immediately. He has to stop to auto attack in between, which slows him down a lot. And that's like something that also people might not really catch. Like you might not catch it because you might not ever be looking for it, and therefore you miss it, and you're playing like a bugged power up that's not good. So that part also you can't blame people. I think that I'm kind of like thinking about. There's been it's that time of the set where a lot of people are bringing back reviving the bring back stats discussion. A lot of people are like, bring back the stats. And I feel like this set, if power-up stats actually were publicized and people could see and understand it through, I feel like that would make the set solved quicker, but it would make it feel less bad on certain things. I'm kind of split on it. Who knows? Maybe we should just ban all stats. Just be completely blind. Could Carelessd mentor reroll with the new fruit workout? Probably not. Because I just think that Carelessd falls off late game because her biggest problem is that she does single target damage, and that just scales really poorly for fights in the late stages of the game. Because there's just so many targets. If people just like play a bait unit in the corner, how do you actually deal with that if you're like the Carelessd player? You can't. Item stats ban when? Do you think they should ban item stats? What, do you guys want North America to never win a TFT tournament ever again? What do we do? We can't look at stats. What do we do? We just lose? The intuition gods themselves, China just wins everything for the rest of time. Do you think the game would be better with only 3 fruit options per champ so you can't be frustrated? I can't answer that question. I think that's the reason why I can't answer that. That's like such a radical departure of the set mechanic. So I would have to think about that. Would it be better if fruits only gave 3 options? My first instinct is that sounds a lot more boring, and I feel like the thing about the #1 most dangerous thing about TFT is that we are afraid of imbalance. We're afraid of taking risks, and the game just becomes really stale and boring. And it just becomes about sort of like recycling things that are tried and true. I think the biggest culprit or biggest example of that might have been last set 14. Set 14 felt very safe. It felt like they didn't take a lot of risks, and it felt like they were going with like a bunch of recycled champions and reprinted abilities, reprinted traits. It felt like there were some cool designs in there for sure. Set 14 had some like good ideas, but in the end, it was just kind of flat and it felt boring. And I think that's like way worse. I think it's way worse than. I'd rather play 10 sets of what this is, as opposed to last set. Last set was just like stale. And it was just like, eh.
看着是
I did not. I don't think last set was like particularly. I consider it to be like
多少波了？是在哪一波准备收？
mid, like the definition of a mid set, and I think that if they do too many of that, it just becomes kind of uninteresting after a
应该就
while.
是收个200以上回人派了。
This set they took bigger
非常
risks
健康，他现在
by
会
like
收
a
完以后
lot.
其实也还
And
有收到250了，相当于
there's a lot of elements of it that I appreciate, but it's also, yeah. By the way, Six Bastion, Shen, Socialite, Twilight Assault, Huanmie, looking pretty good so far. He has Noble Sacrifice. Noble Sacrifice with Bastion's a little bit interesting. But I think it's because Shen scales off resistances. So getting more resistances is good. Theoretically, you don't want to pick Noble Sacrifice in a 6 Bastion setup because it's just too much stacking of the same stats over and over.
最好是把幻灭什么给碰一下。不过他标里面都是。
But I think it's good.
而且胡鑫的弱侧刚好在关少爷的强侧这一边啊。
You say that Riot's big resistance is taking Mordog away from us? Well, Mordog's working on TFT again.
都换到2只，
看到2只啊。
So I don't think.
300。
I think like
看一眼300层的奖励。
that's like one way you can interpret it, but Mordog never
可以
left.
说这基本上是2波的荣获。
I don't think he like shares the. I don't think he like shoulders the responsibility of like the way this set has kind of gone, but he's definitely been working on TFT, guys.
看一下哪些牌会更加诱人一些，白纸可能会考虑拿锅吗？
Backup dancers, Portable Forge for Guan, Double Trouble, Final Ascension,
他这边6级直接
Rogue Grab Bag. Okay, know your enemy.
空装的，
啊，霞落，而且他没有
Mundo Hero Augment.
霞呀，这样。
对，太尴尬了。
霞落是遭损伤的。关少爷，启动了那边。
Wait, was Carelessd? Wait, was Carelessd the
还
guy
有一波。
that got
我们都猜
banned
错了
in
还
NA?
有一波。
哇，这么大呀！
但这波已经上
Wait a
九了，
second.
已经上9了，还有12次刷新呢，钱非
This
常。
I'm starting to remember this name being very familiar.
会不会不小心断了自己的？
应该
Didn't I like do a video on this guy being like getting like a infraction ban
这家最多入他6只，一共6只怪。
for helping press event? Oh, he was the guy that forfeited on ladder or something like that?
装备带上去，很能换，非常能换。
Hold on a second. I need to go back.
有400
I need to go back. There's definitely it's like too familiar. Hold on a second.
5阶段的一波荣获，因为这波如果输很多，其实4阶段是够2波，但到5阶段以后就输不起了。但这波只被入3只，那剩下18滴血在5阶段、6阶段都还 OK， 给的是闪剑。
7件装，
Official competitive ruling from Riot Games, Carelessd, has been officially disqualified from the Trials and Tacticians Cup. This is October 11, 2024.
但是
Due to a violation of Rule 911,
因为
Monka,
没有什么
which states players are expected to play their best at all times with any match to avoid any behavior that potentially threatens the actual perceived integrity of competition, as otherwise inconsistent with the principle of good sportsmanship, honesty, and fair play. It was observed during a ranked match on Sunday, October 6th, in the hours preceding the Tactics 3 snapshot that Carelessd forfeited a game that was seconds from completion victory. That was in direct breach of competitive integrity expectations as the rules outline. Players are expected to give their best effort throughout any match. So this guy got banned
倒霉了，
from the Tacticians Cup.
还是卡着非常高额的利息，利用自己的投资。
And then this guy said, well, screw that, I'm moving to China.
关少爷现在需要补充自己的整体质量。
So he did.
你感觉他这个果子是不是可以再刷一下？
其他的果子额外绽放跟这个版本不是特别的强，这个花都被削弱了。
Wow.
还是把一些剑应该是最直观的。
This guy's like, I'm gonna take my talents to the South Beach. I'm going to somewhere where they understand that forfeiting is okay to help somebody.
另外一边的幻灭在3阶段的。
Also, I do think that that ban was over the top though. I remember that ban, and I'm like, man, that felt
非常好。
that feels a little excessive.
看到LiTuChuan这边2星的
Also, I mean, TFT in China pays way more money if you win. If you win regionals, you win $250,000. I mean, I'll win. I'll compete in China. Maybe Carelessd is that much of a beast.
幻灭并不着急，而且有6护卫在。这波碰到了胡鑫的3星蒙多，但确实在海克斯上战力是会有一定差距的。蒙多有摔跤手跳了一下，打到后排，但后排这个肾同样很肉啊，是有6护卫的。
对，这边的问题就是在差一个海克斯战力的情况底下
China sure is the place for that mindset. Ooh. Is TPT this Friday? Yeah, it is.
同行看一下9000
The tower defense guy is bottoming.
打到5阶段给4点回蓝，其实
He
比较
took
一般
tower defense to reroll Kaisa. No. No. When you tell me he could have taken too much value?
主要还大家习惯之前那个就是不会加 Y 的
What
9000
is
会
going
非常
on,
爽基本上
man?
玩到这会儿就是7
What
点
is
到8点
going on? Malzahar protect. He's played Protector Malzahar. Okay.
碰到关少爷了。看一眼马达过前排背后排的速度，但另外一边因为有卡牌的回复，所以说卡牌是不会受到太多威胁的。维努斯这边的话，一个大招开完，前排被清的差不多，但第二个大是开不出来的，卡牌也被堵死了。哇，这个版本的马达还太有。
Bro, Kiyun just tagged me in Disope and said remove Rage Blade on TFT Academy Bis.
全部换回了之后，最后 Carelessd 赢了。
在空中就结束了。
只能说这外伤是比不上内伤啊，马达这个毒，他这个内伤是优先结算的。
我以为关少要上10了。输掉了之后发现不行。
All right, here we go. What do we have? This is Fast 9 Varus.
迫在眉睫，同时他也想要布隆。
Fast 9 Varus Zyra.
甚至还能给他提升一些容错。没有收到布隆，但是卡牌2了。而且他好像
Wait, what is this? Elephant's TV. I don't know, but from the patch notes, we've been following the PhD thesis, literature reviews, and IR submissions on wave theory and lower gate. After deep investigation, we corrected 2 bugs. Oh, do you know what the bugs are, though? Wait. So you are flaming Mortdog because of this? Did you read what's below that? There's 2 bugs specifically about Recombob and Pandora's Bench. Basically, in rare scenarios, Pandora's Bench can remove 5 costs from the pool if they're you. And I don't even know what the situation is, but it's like a late game thing. And then the second one is Pocket Recombob in some rare scenarios as well can remove the units that they Recombob, and that's it. There's no like the thing that people believe that's incorrect is that the shop odds are just literally bugged. They think that like it says 25% here, but it's not 25%, and they like think that the chances of seeing this poppy is like not reflected as an accurate forecast. That's what people think is the problem, but they haven't been able to find that. The bugs that they found with like the pool, like the funny thing is almost every player who's seeking validation have like basically said like I was right, I knew there was something wrong with it. When the 2 things they found have not actually impacted that. I mostly blame the way they communicated around it. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like they communicate. I'm down to call Riot out when they communicate poorly about it. I don't feel like they did. They just said that we. Actually, if anything, I think that they were pretty good about it. Because maybe I'm misreading it, but Mortdog when people first threw that out. He said I looked into it and I didn't find anything. That being said, that doesn't mean that it's wrong, and also that also might mean that we need to figure out a way to make it feel less bad. If it was a League of Legends dev like responding to it, the League of Legends dev would just simply say, "Have you tried considering that it's a skill issue?" And then everyone would applaud them on Twitter. That's like literally what happens on the other devs. I feel, if anything, I felt like the opposite. I felt like they communicated pretty well about it. They said that, you know what, you might be. Like that might not be true, or we aren't finding it, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily wrong. Like that. So I feel like they've done a good job about communicating about it.
而且中期我觉得是这个吃水晶的决定非常正确，在大家都要抢的3阶段、4阶段里面，帮助自己狠狠的滑了一波。
Have you noticed any of the TFT games loading loading log? Yeah, my first game of the day loads really slow. Loads really slow. Because of all that content, you know. So we have Twilight Shen, Varus Fast 9. This guy has spats. Floating spat. I mean, I think Twilight Assault Shen is good if you can get the items for it. And he started off with no bows, so he ended up in a pretty decent spot. He took Radiant Relics and missed as well. That is worth noting. That his Radiant Relics also missed. So I think this is a really solid top 3 at least, maybe even probably top 2 based off the HP. Yeah, he's getting blown up by Fast 9, so probably a third. This TFT set is the worst in a long time. I mean, I don't agree, but I also don't think this set is the best by any means. I think if you played set 12, set 12 was much worse, in my opinion, because of the balance, which is a shame because I actually really like this set mechanic. I think I know this sounds probably like ridiculous to say to a lot of people right now, but I think this set has been more fun on a per game basis than even last set. Set 14 was like not a very interesting set. I have a hard time remembering stuff about set 14, and I can't even tell you memorable games I had about set 14. Like, what was an interesting game that you had in set 14? Like, not really anything much. People can't even name that stuff. I think that like I'd rather have fun, memorable games that like have like frustrating things about it live in my memory than very forgettable games. So like I don't really think, I actually think that this set is actually just better than last set. So to say that is like the worst set, that's just my opinion though, right? Like we're just debating our preferences. But I guess I just don't agree. But I also I'm a fundamentally different TFT player than most players. Oh my god, the Braum just threw the Swain to the back line. I consume TFT very differently than a lot of people. I don't even play TFT that much compared to a lot of the other TFT creators. But I still play way more than other people. And TFT is a big part of like my life, like a very big part of my life. I'm pretty sure it's one of 3 things I do. I play TFT. Or I do TFT stuff, I hang out with family, and I sleep / eat. That's the 3 things I do in life. So for a hyper engaged TFT player, my opinion is probably different than yours. But if you're like a player that plays 5 games a day, or sorry, 5 games a week or something like that, and you're not having fun and you think it's the worst set of all time, your opinion is just as valid. The cash out trait was far better last set. I mean, I actually think last set's cash out trait was one of the worst that's ever been made. And I actually don't even know if it's close. I think it's actually really I personally think it's one of the worst cash out traits they ever made, because you don't have to do anything at all. You just have to just sit there and just cash out your intel whenever you want. And that's it. You just sit there and you just cash it out. There's no reward. I actually think like, yeah, I don't know. I think that Cypher cash out was like really bad, personally. I hope they never put something like that again. In fact, this set has something similar because you can just cash out every few turns, but at least that's like marginally more interesting than just like you just sit there and just wait for your cash out. That's what the Cypher mechanic was. At least with like mercenaries and fortune and everything like that, you have to win, and that forces you to like do things. With Cypher, you just basically wait and just wait and just wait, and then collect intel, and then just play your game. So you just don't do anything. I think that's so boring, so boring. Personally, worth the wait, Kennen 4. So he played Malzahar, Kennen 4. Interesting. I feel like this set is so hard to learn each patch. I think that's the big thing too. I do think I think the biggest problem of the set is that this set, to enjoy fully, you have to basically be a full-time TFT player. To enjoy the set at its to the fullest extent right now, to appreciate it, it almost feels like you have to have TFT be your full-time job. You have to know like every fruit that's good on every champion. You have to know all the ways you optimize route. You have to know which things, which augments are good for it. And then you have to like understand, like you also have to like somehow pick up on the fact of what things work versus what things don't. It's too much. That part I can get behind. If that's the perspective that you have as being the worst in a long time, I can understand that. And that's something that, again, like I lack knowledge about some of these things, but it wouldn't be so bad if TFT 1 didn't patch as often as it did, which is like wild. Some people are saying that they think that they patched, like they're wondering why there's no B patch. Dude, they patched way too much this set. This set they've patched way too much. And way too hard. But obviously they needed to do that because there were severe imbalances. But they patched so much this set. And like they've never given time for things to settle. We're still discovering new things about this patch. This patch is still, it's actually developing as we speak. But they never really let the patch breathe. They patched too much this set.
现在幻灭跟关少爷接下来是本体的对决 ，Carelessd 这波能不能赢镜像同样很关键。
And I'm fairly confident that if this was the rest of the patch for the set, like this was it, this is the last patch that we had this set, it would look very different of a meta for World. There would still be like the usual suspects, but there'd be new things surfacing all the time. So yeah. Okay, Fast 9 beat Huanmie. Actually, I thought Huanmie was gonna be able to get second based with the HP. Carelessd. Wow. Stage 7, huh? 7 HP, 1 HP. That guy hit Janna 3 as well. I mean, Fast 9 should win the game. This is actually like a very good result. Because the things about Fast 9 that I've seen is that it loses to reroll boards anyways. He has double artifact, Twisted Fate. If you guys haven't heard, this guy's name is Guan. He won set 13 regionals. He also has done pretty well domestically. I think he almost made another deep run last set as well. I think that he's one of the best players in China at the moment. Oh! Never mind, just kidding. He lost to reroll comp. It's so silly, Carelessd. This guy says, you banned me from NA, I moved to China.
对他上线也是做的非常的高，连风女都追到3星了。
那我们也赶快跟着高光的回放，再来重温一下整局比赛吧。
The patches swing meta so much, like Karma didn't deserve the nerf. You know, part of the reason why is because they listen to the players complaining so much. Like it's because they hear you know why they nerfed like Colossal Udyr and Ashe probably didn't even need to get nerfed last patch, but they nerfed it anyways because everyone was just busy yapping about how terrible it was to go up against it. And so now, I mean, part of it is like also that the meta shifted, but it's like they listen all the time. Okay, that's cap. No, it's not. It's not cap. It's 100% not cap. They didn't need to actually nerf Ashe. It's true. And if you don't, then you just don't understand. You don't understand how the meta shifted at the highest levels. And the highest levels in TFT matter a lot because it trickles down to what everyone else eventually does. Because TFT is a game where if you learn the knowledge and the strategies necessary to do things, you eventually pick up on what high elo is doing, and you can also replicate it. That's one of the things that people like about TFT. At the very highest levels, Ashe was actually starting to fall out of the A tier. It started off at the top of S tier, and it was starting to go down and down and down and down to the point where people say it's borderline B tier now at that point by the end of the patch. But at the very beginning of it, they were just listening to people non-stop complain about 6 duelist Colossal Udyr. Anyways, after this augment selection, we'll run some ads. I went straight into the next game. We'll do that in a little bit. How do you think a Yasuo or reroll mentor with the new veteran fruit and 4 Edgewood would fare in the new patch? I think stuff like that is where we need the most time to figure things out. There probably are some veteran reroll comps that could be played right now, but the problem is that I think that we don't understand fully what the bugged interaction is because it disables sometimes. but there's probably something there that could be
安排的
discovered.
小而明亮来了，天降金币的幻灭。
Like, how long did it take for us to figure out that Socialite was OP and then it enabled a bunch of compositions?
刷掉了。
Like without social, and that could be as simple as discovering a powerful power-up interaction, and then all of a sudden something becomes very viable.
看他怎么想。
Okay, we have Portable Forge, Caretakers, Raining Gold, Deadlier Blades, another Twilight Assault Shen. We have a tiny team replication in Portable Forge. Portable Forge with Sniper Focus for
因为亚索，你说
LiTuChuan, Carelessd.
怎么样？
6护卫亚索，然后亚索带狙击手的专注，2星就有。
All right, be right back, guys.
然后出个无尽，第3件随便可以出个巨杀，然后我子一定要带出血。
另外2件装有没有什么讲究？就除了狙击手之外，
这狙击手无尽巨杀，
进巨杀。
不需要吸血，它就是一个很厉害的后排。然后中期可以
The top tier tournament lobbies have different lobby ecosystems. When you have 3 people doing different rerolls, the reroll comps tend to spike harder. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, top elo tends to have different dynamics than lower elo. It's true. It's true. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is a lot of people would, like, what people in chat are disagreeing with me that Ashe didn't need to get, the Ashe composition with Udyr didn't need to get nerfed. And I think it's 100% true. It didn't need to.
可能是个大嘴或
How often do you guys see Ashe being played in your lobbies now?
版本的神器印证其实还是蛮多的。我觉得在低配卡的版本里面，好像大家就会很愿意去选。
When I even tried playing it and it didn't feel good. I don't think I played it from the optimal spot, but it didn't feel that
比
good.
较特别的套路出现，可以自己找到额外的坑位。
不用再去跟别人去抢那些比较热门的低配阵容了。
Infinity Malzahar.
早的合了是把无尽出来哦。
Just playing Malzahar and then going to move that off to
意味着自己
Darius
是要上到8级去玩的。
可能就是玩新手骂炸狙，但是这个阵容在连败是玩不了的。
Killing every 4 cost in the game was kind of sus. They killed
现在我发现大家都喜欢
one.
就连败拿个黄金之星，就当一个
They killed
风险
Yuumi.
对冲，对吧？万一我赢了
Are you talking about like systematically throughout the entire set? I mean, yeah, that makes sense. They killed Sorks and then they killed Yuumi. I think that's because
如果能换到怪就更好了。它是2杠3
there was a post being made. I forgot where, but basically Riot said
因为如果收3轮的话，得要4杠2才能开奖。
Riot said something along the lines of
打算
some compositions, some units and comps, it's not enough for them to be nerfed and still good. They said that player perception is, and I guess I'll type it in chat. Riot has said that if a composition that is S tier gets nerfed and is still in A tier,
看选手自己。
the player perception is that Riot is incompetent because the nerfs didn't work.
对，还是
Example, this patch, you still see 4 Mentor Rise
对，应该就是玩一个
have 3 people top 4, even though objectively it is weaker and not nearly as OP as last patch.
画面这边的
And
天
so
哇，这无尽一盒，2刀一盒。
people will just spam Riot, OMG Mentor, so bad at balance. And so they over nerf 4 cost or comps often. And this is what happened to a lot of 4 costs.
我开始像是要玩我也可能。
Boom. That's the explanation. Now, I'm not justifying
前面也是
that
连败的滑铁过度啊。另外
approach,
果然有
but that
上的往
is
大腿直
a
接靠嘛
big reason why they do things the way they do. If Akali was S tier and then still popular / playable at A tier, people will quit and not come back
但大嘴这版本
because they can't
特
take
别厉害。
the mental damage.
还是卡上。
What you're saying is very correct, Frodan, but normally I see a lot more Riot comments about Xayah or Khan or the reroll comps. No, I mean, they'll say about... I think people just, like... will say that about anything, quite frankly. They'll say that about matchmaking. They'll say that about items. They'll say that about augments. They'll say that about prismatic orbs. They'll say that about what comps finish in the top 4. They'll say that about,
后面嘛。
bug interactions. They'll say that about artifacts. They'll say that about raiding items. They'll say that about cash outs. They'll say that about everything.
生物关系也不好，但至少这个卡是在3
And so, do you, like, if you're talking about from a dev perspective, The healthiest version of player feedback is when they complain about everything.
感觉是奔着连胜去，他就是为了连胜把所有装都合了。
对，还合了谢
Why are you rambling in chat? Because ads were playing.
但是这样的话就会导致他三阶段可能会稍微弱一点，以及
Because ads were playing. And I want people to hear a response to their question. So shut up and enjoy the content slash educational session.
数据是负的，就是提升是好的，但是本身的提升不是特别大，就可能不到一个神奇的价值。
Actually, don't shut up. I need the chat engagement.
败的人会比较舒服。如果能三阶段
Are they limited to 2 4-week patch cycles because of Summoner's Rift? Oh, I mean, kind of. It's more like the League of Legends. It's more like the League of Legends.
把诺手跟马塔做装备。
Okay, what do we have here? Rod, Deathcap. Deathcap is I think best of slot Malzahar probably isn't anti-heal anymore, by the way.
大家还是会尽量的去找一些。
I know that we have anti-heal on TFT Academy guides. I'm aware. I still think the data on it suggests that it's good, but I think true Biss Malzahar is no anti-heal now.
阿百的就是奔着换怪去了，而且他前面还真
Right, here to go. Thank you, man. Did you have fun in trials? Yeah. I mean, I have fun competing. I don't think I can compete that often. I'm actually debating whether or not I can even compete in the next cup because I have some stuff coming up. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to TwitchCon, for example. I don't know if any of you guys are going to TwitchCon, but I just don't have that much time to prep for stuff, so it's hard. I mean, I could just sign up and just say if I do well, I do well, but I feel like I want to, when I show up, I want to do well because then I don't want it to just be like this thing where I like compete for the sake of it. I want it to kind of be something like I invest in. I don't want to like show up in half-ass.
非常多门票的一局。HereWeGo 选择重
I was told Morello's is broken on Malzahar. It's good in the early mid game. I guess the better way to describe it is that you don't want to. I don't know if you want to end the game
他这个还
with
是
it.
只说对于普通闪
Kind of like how you know how like Rage Blade is really good in the early mid game for like Jinx and stuff, but like by the end game you don't want Rage Blade on Jinx.
你发现拿了经济的还是拿经济，
It's like the same
拿了装备
concept.
你看白纸跟关少爷都是第一轮拿了装备，第二轮还是拿装备。然后像幻灭就是第一轮拿了经济，第二轮还是拿经济。
只要奔着更高倍的阵容去玩，可能4倍阵已经锁不了血了。
You said Trubis is what? Oh, I think it's probably AP. It's probably some. It's Void Staff, AP, and a mana generation. Because the thing is, he's only playing 2 prodigies, so having him cast like spam cast is like kind of important.
感觉要改变策略去玩95了吗？
Late game, I'd rather have Morello on Seraphine. Yeah, except Seraphine is a little bit not. She casts a little bit late in the fight as well. But I think ultimately,
那中期的节奏怎么样呢？
what I'm trying to communicate is I don't know if Malzahar actually wants
有做很巨大的
Morello at the end of the game. For a big portion of the game, though, you can go for it though. Okay, prismatic ticket into. Okay, so he's going snipers focus Viego. I mean, Viego is really good.
不过他有狙击手，
If you haven't gotten the memo, Viego is very, very good, and he's very good with snipers focus as well. So I think is snipers focus his best artifact. Like, let's say you get offered snipers, Wit's End, Zonias,
有点多，而且
and
一个要追3的牌，他应该
Flicker
是卖
Blades.
掉去重新刷国的。
What are you taking? Like, I think those are the 4 best. Look at the statistics here.
这里在中期因为拿了门票，所以整个节奏会缓。
Viego,
非常少，
3 items, artifacts.
有一个大棒瑞兹，
Who wants a cookie?
会不会有去玩
3 items, 6 Soul Fighter plus.
但目前来看，大家的这种选择还是比较偏向低费的。除了幻灭这个双
Wow,
经济是
it's
明显的
actually
双费
pretty
之外
close.
因为
It's actually so close
就哪怕拿了游神的眷顾，可能
that I think you could legitimately make a case for any of
就
them.
是等到抽到之后再去升级补上。
The answer
3
is
件装以一个金色海克斯来说，已经
Wit's End, Zonia's Sniper's Focus. It's Wit's End by barely a margin, but it's separated by less than a tenth. 0.69 to 0.74, which is basically the same thing. Same stats across the board, same sample size.
等级够不
So it's
够
like
神会
any of them.
继续
I actually literally picked all. I was like, huh?
不然的话是没办法抽出血。
Can you reliably hit stretchy hands?
他还是把
Yes.
这个
I'm
杀人
skilled.
变成光杀人剑了。找前面你不可能
As that is required of
让
any
掉一个
challenger
彩色
player.
呀不可能让掉重质不重量。
对，但这个选择其实挺特别的。
我只要看能不能打出连击。如果这里3阶段
Quality over quantity?
我觉得是可以接受。
Kaisa.
而且
Nah, he's playing this as a transition board.
光杀人剑
这个尼可本身也是非常多。
对
He's playing this as a transition board.
而且光杀人剑
对，
He's playing quality over quantity into something. Star Guardians? He has no Star Guardians. Wait, what is he playing? Quality over quantity into what?
这边留的还是宗师的牌，他还是
That
要
is so strange. Morello, Deathblade,
那宗师体系的巫妖有没有可能就是单纯拿来前面过渡用的？
Mentor Mech
过渡了，因为其实也
with Morello.
说很好，
Do you just is it just Morello for
只
tempo?
是看等会有没有敲，就把它大手一敲。
Maybe. Maybe just put Morello on Senna. I don't know.
但不是要玩霞罗，我是想要玩金克斯，然后去打霞的那个。
Because it's like a good tempo item.
走一个运营体系。
没什么。
He's also too poor. He's also very well. I think that it's generally it's like a low econ game. Tiny team plus
因为现在没有
Pandoras.
赢的话，其实就会导致自己后面的节奏会稍微就一步慢。
Settle for Radiant Warmogs.
胡星这边的缥缈石
Oh, he's playing Jinx.
相比于上一局的画面来说
I actually think that this build, again, this is the Ashe build from the last patch. I think this build is actually best in slot Zaya as
因为
well.
他的一个三角
Maybe. Okay, so Kian says that red buff is probably better. Kraken red buff. But I like played a game yesterday where I had Kraken, Rageblade, Edge of Knight, and it felt super good. Super good. Like, there were so many fights that were like determined because I had the Edge of Knight.
7级来，7级7-5-1
And I was looking at the stats on it, and there's like no stats on
至
it.
少可以先给装备了。
57
Oh, actually, there are stats for GS Kraken Edge of Knight.
他会直接跳9嘛？
Not a lot, though. Not a lot.
双击在8级玩
I go
基本就等于
Edge of
死了
Knight.
看希望能够再选个四倍增援之类的。
Okay, so if you were follow the statistic, then it's not Rageblade, it's GS Kraken, but the sample size is really low. But either way, it actually looks kind of good at a minus 0.18. And if you were to go like, 1,000 plus, it's basically competing at the same clip as
没有
this.
刚7级
Like it's basically competing at the same clip as that. So I think there's actually something there. There's actually something there. I don't know. Maybe it's not
有4人
Rageblade
可能就是4杠2
because Rageblade in general is just very overrated.
当牛的皇子抽出来
But
先在
either way, what I'm trying to say is if you actually have those extra components and you can slam Edge of Knight on Zai, you probably should do
到
it.
纳尔打钱的情况底下，正常的纯运营还是有点吃力的。
Does quality over quantity ever win? Not really. It's more of a top 4 orient. It's like a high AVP, low win rate augment.
是有推进的回合本身还是有不错的出现的，可以把它当成
Viego.
而且他本
New augment idea instead of what the forge, where every item becomes a random artifact. How about we have a holy radiant where all complete items become randomized radiant items? That sounds really broken. Because at a certain point, it doesn't matter if you have suboptimal items. You just get something generally like radiant items are worth 2. That sounds one of the strongest augments ever made.
出赢了，其实就不大会有太大的影响。
That sounds like a 3.1, like 25-30% win rate augment.
8级抽到一张卡牌，还可以。另外一边HereWeGo也在抽6级抽，
外面想玩新手至高天，
但这样的话就会跟阿柏撞阵容，得看阿柏的抽牌情况跟他抽牌情况会不会。
Radiant item is worth 2 items. And so let's say, okay, I don't have Jewel
阿
Gauntlet
柏这边抽到一张维鲁斯
because
了
let's say you're playing Karma, right? You're like, you want Jewel Gauntlet and not Death Cap in Sorcerers. It doesn't matter. You have a Radiant Death Cap. Like that's just like worth more than any. So you just do stuff like that. Okay, I don't have Infinity Edge, but I have Radiant Giant Slayer or Radiant Giant Slayer is better than this patch, but same concept. And then all of a sudden you just like have way too many broken stuff. So it actually is even better. It might be average in the 2s. It might be I think what you're describing might be the strongest augment ever made.
还是要有一个足够肉的前排来给他好的输出空间。
Tiny Team Jinx. Tiny Team Jinx is very good.
冲到大腿，
Very, very good.
那这样的话要送给关少爷第12败。
Okay, maybe not like binary airdrop at Silver Strong because it depends on like the rarity of it. But if you play Tiny Team Zyra with the 3rd Star Guardian, a lot of times it's Jinx. A lot of times it's Jinx. But if you can't find Jinx, you just play Rel or Poppy or whatever. Just like you can flex the last spot. You also don't have to play a 3rd Star Guardian in the mid game, but you should.
6张佛爷哥30块，稍微停一停，还有自己的冷彩门票，可以下一波再启动。而这里
Cog Lamau. 7 HP. This guy is cooked. Replication Cogmaw 2. I think he might do the forbidden 13 loss into an 8th. He has not won a single round this entire game.
真不一定，好像13连败。
He's just like me. He's just like I relate pretty hard to that. A 13 loss.
杠4，大家定睛一看，棋盘上少个人。
金克斯。
后面肯定。但同样已经2星了，反正他现在就是赶快把自己的2星金克斯先抽出来吧。
I mean, hey, didn't he win the last game? Oh no, he went second in the first game. Who is Carelessd? He's the guy that got banned from NA last year for win trading precedent for a cup snapshot. He got banned, and if you search Carelessd in the TFT in the competitive Discord for tournaments, you'll see he's the same person. Yeah. Dude, it's funny, man. Precedent is pretty innocent in a lot of these exchanges, but somehow he always ends up in the center of it. Somehow, Precedent winds up in the center of like Chinese player controversy. I'm not sure how. What's the record for the most rounds lost in the game? Probably something like 16 or 17, because you can have HP restoration. But you can't lose that much because the base damage is high.
对面的瑞兹虽然也是1星，但是有整体质量的宗师是赢画面非常多的，而且画面现在离第6名的血量差距非常大呀。现在这个血量差是让画面最难接受的。
It's the watermelon theory. What's the watermelon theory?
1星瑞兹差点双杀了。
This guy took Reigning Gold, invested, and still has Jinx 1. Those are the games where people just start blaming wave theory. Reigning Gold and invested, and they're just like, yeah, shot bots are bugged. He took double econ, and he's on 2. And then this guy took Tiny Team Pandora's items and hit anyways. Crazy. Shen and Shin. Shen Shin. Shen Zhao. I'm pretty sure every hero augment is clickable if you understand how to play it. And you have the spot for it. But I'm pretty sure it is. Ascension. I like that one. People that goes hard on Wellman get the free drama or the real one. Oh, like, because Precedent loves watermelon. I mean, I love watermelon too. I'm not getting involved in drama unless I insert myself into it by adding commentary to it. In that case, I'm very much involved. You know what? You're right. I actually am. I'm usually part of it. You know, the hard thing about watching other another thing, this is like a very subtle, small complaint, but watching other regions is like way harder now because you just don't know what fruits they're picking. Like a lot of times my eyes are just glossing over what fruit they are because I just don't really know. Like I know that VOD has stretchy arms, for example. Because that's like visually clear. But I don't know like what Rammus has, you know. I remember in set 12, I actually tried to learn all the charms. And then in set 13, I tried to learn all the power, the anomalies. I'm just, after a certain point, I just gave up. After a while, I just gave up. Maybe resistance. Okay. Mentor Mech. You know, they don't play that much Mentor Mech. A lot of like reroll. They play there's usually one person playing Jinx every game, like Jinx Wraith Flex. And then there's I mean, I legitimately, and I say this respectfully, I legitimately have no clue what the heck this guy was doing, man. Quality over quantity into Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa reroll. But you know what? Strong 6, I guess. That is just weird. Deadlier Blades, Kai'Sa, quality over quantity. So, okay, you know what he thought? He probably thought that he was going to win more the mid game because he had Radiant Deathblade on Kai'Sa with quality over quantity. Then thought that we could do like team effort comp, but like the funny thing about Kai'Sa is that she's like the exact opposite of a team effort comp. All the power of the composition is concentrated in one unit. Viego, Malzahar. 0 mouse player? No, there's one mouse player. There's definitely a mouse player. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
其实魔术师这个果子本来应该不会这么亏的，但是
I think in general, stonks on Kaisa are a little bit down because they not only nerfed her, but Darius is more contested. So I would say that Kaisa theoretically still is like a really, really good comp. It's just harder and harder to get to it. Kind of like how some hero augments are really good. Remember how a lot of people knew that the Vi hero augment was busted, but everyone and their mom was running Juggernauts, so you just couldn't hit Vi 3. It feels the same way. Like Kaisa 3 without Darius 3 is not really that threatening. And I wonder if that maybe means that we have to rethink the way we play Kaisa. Like maybe Kaisa has to play a different duo carry. But I'm not sure what that means, you know. I think Kaisa has to innovate a little bit. Like maybe Kaisa. Maybe you want to play 4-mentor Kaisa now. I don't know though. I don't know because the thing is that line is also really contested. Find your center, Yone. Duo carry Yasuo with 4-mentor, but it's also contested. Yeah, I think there might be something that we're missing. I'm not sure though. I have to figure. It's something that makes me think like if Kaisa players are just because there's actually a coalition of players that now are starting a campaign that Kaisa sucks. There's actively some players that are just like Kaisa is bad. We shouldn't be playing it. And I think that's largely due to what I just described. They're having a hard time reaching cap, and it just feels like difficult to deal with. Like with all the Malzahars and things like that in the lobby. What's going on with Kaisa? Oh, I don't know what the optimal build is for Kaisa if you can't hit Darius 3. Do you just play Darius 2 and just hope that's enough? Maybe, maybe not. Kaisa Juggernaut? Maybe? Kaisa Juggernaut and then you go like Vi? Let me see. Let me look it up real quick. That might be grounds for some investigation. Kaisa 3 items. Six Juggernaut. No, it doesn't look like you want to go for like Vi duo with it, but it does look like there is something with like there is some potential there. Filter out for Supreme Cells though. Okay, it's like there might be something there. Maybe Juggernaut Kaisa comes back a little bit. It's possible. Something worth thinking about for sure. One thing's for certain. One thing's for certain. You're just not gonna hit Darius 3 that often. And on average, if you just like filter any composition without its duo carry, it gets a lot worse. Maybe Colossal Udyr Kaisa. So you're thinking like 6 Duelist Kaisa. That doesn't sound that good though. Mainly because mainly because Kaisa doesn't get that much benefit from the attack speed. So it doesn't feel like it might be worthwhile. So Shen hero augment. If Shen can beat this Kaisa, this Malzahar board. What the heck? Oh! What was that, man? That was nuts. That rate damage was crazy. What on earth? Insane. Kaisa doesn't care about attack speed, you're right. The Malzahar scam, yeah. The thing about Malzahar is that you just never know. Oh, this guy went Rammus. Rammus Viego. Interesting. Rammus Viego Udyr. Okay. Rammus 3.
原来是这样，我是说怎么经常能够听到有这个水声，可以换了。
I want to play more Viego. I think Viego's super fun. You know what? When I queue up on ladder today, time to time to get some Lux games in. Lux Viego. Inspired by your Viego Smolder. That is true. I remember I did play Viego plus Smolder, but that was like a very rare game. I don't think I could. I don't even think I could play another game like that for the rest of this set. It's a good version of TFT. The good version of TFT is you play it and you think you'll never be able to replicate that again. That game was awesome. Viego. Giant Slayer. I think Giant Slayer is probably better than the second Rage Blade on Viego. I don't know if you want 2 Rage Blades on him, but then who was the other Rage Blade holder? Probably not Guan, right? Viego gets hard countered by Sun Illusion, does he? I don't think I've seen that matchup very often. What makes it specifically countered by Sun Illusion? Yeah, see, the Viego's attacking a lot, but he's not doing that much damage. Okay, I mean, now the damage is coming in, but it's like just a little too slow. That's a 4th. Disappointing. Viego gets hard counter. It's a lore counter. What's the lore? Oh, because it's like they're like the Sentinels of Light or something like that. The lore that I know about Viego was from the book. What was the book called? Ruination. That was a pretty good book. I actually like that book. It might be the best piece of League of Legends lore I've ever read. Not that the bar is really high. Most of League lore is like, you know, in terms of like the actual writing of it has not been like terribly impressive. But I think that one's probably the best one, quality-wise. Oh, we're getting blown out. Okay, so the cap of Jinx Flex is TF. So he's just playing no Syndra, no Malzahar. You take out 2 Wraiths. I mean, that makes sense. You take out Zac. Okay, Zac out. Why does he have a random Malphite? Oh, because of the TF reward. So he plays Cassante. So he plays Cassante plus, I guess, Nico, but he has Malzahar 3. Then he just takes out 2 more Wraiths. And he plays TF. The Xayah is kind of random as well. He doesn't need Xayah. What are your thoughts on Bis Viego now that the 15.4 roll rework? Rage Blade itself is plus 32 Masters plus, but the non-rage blows are low sample size. Have you tried a lot of the influence of Rage Blade in those kinds of situations are people who play it without artifacts. Rage Blade is definitely a good item on Viego. Let's see. Viego. And you take artifacts out. And you're trying to play Viego around 6 Soul Fighter. Let's see, no Radiant items as well. It does look like the stats in it are not that good. But what build would you want to play besides it then? At a reasonable sample size. It doesn't seem like there's that very much. I'm trying to lower my sample size here. So basically, no artifacts and no radiance. The best Viego builds still include Rageblade. So I don't think Rageblade's actually bad. If you look at the raw stat of it itself, it's not great. But a lot of the builds that include Rageblade, or a lot of his best builds include Rageblade. So I think the stats. I mean, another thing to consider is his play rate. This is basically the overwhelming majority of his builds, and the placement rate, the place change, the delta on it is like not particularly amazing, but it's not bad either. This doesn't mean bad. It just means that this is what the expected build is. It looks like Truebiss. Yes, I thought that would be instead of Dual Gauntlet, you play Death Cap. But yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine, but it also is not like Dual Gauntlet Hodge is that much better. It's not like Quicksilver is that much better. It just looks like you just. I think from my understanding of it, you just slam Edge of Knights, and then like Rageblade +1. But like, I don't know if you can get Rageblade plus Death Cap because that's 3 rods as well. Okay, BRB ads. BRB ads. So what do we see so far out of this? We've seen. I guess I didn't screenshot this. I'll add this to my Discord server while we're running ads. Let's see here. So stream notes. I usually add some screenshots. This is game 2. Let me see. Let me add this of game 1 as well. The end of the end game screen. So we can get a recap of what China was playing. Carelessd.
感觉教练对于这局有哪些地方你觉得，就尤其是今天的这个环境吧，可能还是整体偏向于低费卡一点。
All right, so we have game 1, CN Huya Cup set 15.
最王朝的阵容，目前看起来。
Finals game 1.
也全对，就第3个海克斯让他也快速的3星蚂蚱以后能够上到9
And then
额外上限。
game 2.
第一局的
This is all on my Discord. Free to join if you guys want. You can hang out on the Discord. I haven't been pushing it as much, which I probably should, but you guys can join Discord if you want. It's there. Under stream notes. I don't post there that often, but usually when I'm like VOD reviewing and I'm like looking at different things, it's like it just helps. This is a helpful reference if you need. Viego and Lux with Deadlier Cap seems broken. I can see that. I can see that being the case. I think Deadlier Caps is just a really good augment right now. In fact, I have skipped it sometimes, and I went back and watched my games. I'm like, oh, it was definitely Deadlier Caps. I think it's a good augment. All right, let's go into game 3. Is Kaisa with 3 mech any good? 3 mech Kaisa? Probably not. Probably not. The reason why it might not be that good. Okay, I know that Kaisa's tree actually links to mech in like not so bad way because Darius is a heavyweight and Akali is an executioner and that links to Senna and Aatrox. So maybe. But it doesn't. I think that I feel like it doesn't do enough for Kaisa because mech is just another form of frontline that feels like less efficient than playing for whatever else you want to go for. But I guess you theoretically could. You could play Kaisa, GP, Aatrox, Darius, Kennen plus Lucian. And then you just like play Akali. So then the final build on 8 is 5 mech, 4 Supreme Cell. Oh, wait a second. Can you like do something kind of crazy? No, you can't. I was gonna say if you play like Drift Duo Lucian with that, probably not. Let's say Kaisa 3 with 3 mech.
团队建设。HereWeGo也要考虑一下，拿完这个团队建设以后要去玩什么？会是再来一把卡莎吗？现在2把卡莎加起来拿了4分。
感觉如果我是HereWeGo这个状态。
Oh well, the stats on it make it seem like it's not so bad.
而且。
You play Kaisa.
对 ，Carelessd 的
Darius. You play Kaisa, Darius.
非常多的开局了已经。
You play Aatrox.
因为如果他 他不选择输下去
You
拿的话，也是
play
对，
Kennen. You play a
百
Kali.
宝袋开局，
And then you
做了
play
破防
Gangplank,
加上一个
right?
也不知道哪件做哪件合的，反正是
Gangplank
两个人在身上等一个无尽。
Kaisa dares Aatrox Gangplank, and then who's the last one? Lucian?
这边已经很默契的，基本上每
I mean, now we're starting to get to the point where there's literally no games. There's like no sample size. No one's even trying this.
就是玩不了了。所以你会看到
Let's see, Kaisa 3, Lucian versus Karma.
自然的就走了，也没有任何的悬念，没有
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
2-1已经定生死了。
And then you cap at level 8.
大家都把椅子给拉下来坐了，然后呢你就只能站。
Okay, so at Platinum Plus, there are 36 games of this. So, but it averaged a 3.9. So you know what? It's time for you to get cracking. Anyone who's like Gold, Plat, Emerald, you know what to do. Start playing some Kaisa Mech reroll. And please report back. I need you guys to commit yourselves to science. There's 67 games played of it. No one's playing it, man. So you need to go try it. Do I roll on 6? Yeah, you're rolling for Kaisa 3. Roll for Kaisa 3 and I was gonna say Mecha Blade Aatrox or something like that, but I don't even know, man. Dude, just do your thing. Figure it out. You guys got it. Mech Kaisa. But I'm almost plat. Okay, get the plat 4 and then so you can't demote and then just send 20 games of it. Would it just be social Aatrox? You know what? You might be right. I have no clue, man. At that point, why not play Kaisa Mentor? I mean, it's hard to hit Rise. The reason why we would theoretically want to play this is because it's too hard to hit the other stuff. Frodan, you're balding. Am I? Or are you balding? Or already bald? I feel like you can't really say that unless you yourself are bald, because it's kind of like a game recognizes game too. I am too. Well, that makes sense. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. As you can see right now, I'm very bald. There's only two kinds of people who bring up that topic. It's either people who, one, are bald themselves or balding themselves, and they feel the need to sort of like, I guess, like welcome people into a club. It's kind of like a cult. Or two, like literal like Roblox teenagers, because that's just like the insult that they do, you know. They're 12 years old. They finally got hair, like one piece. They got a single follicle on their chest, and they're like, haha, you're balding. Isn't it normal to be balding? No, not at all, man. It's so weird. It's so weird. That doesn't happen to people. Duplicators. This guy's going Smolder? I feel like this HereWeGo guy just like plays off meta so much. He plays so weird. He's just constantly doing weird stuff. Bald equals funny? Yeah, I mean that's why Northern Lion's the funniest guy on Twitch, man. That guy is hilarious and bald. I think the correlation R equals 1 in this instance. There's nothing wrong with balding. Greg is completely bald. Yep. That's why he wears a hat all the time. Why do you think he has a glorious mustache? I mean, I think someone's overcompensating. He has edge of knife for... This guy has edge of knife for his Zac. Just needs a rod. I mean, 3 mech, J4, Aatrox, any mech, and then Kaisa 3-star Supreme and Udyr fit on 8. Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I think there's only one way to find out is that you just send it and figure it out, man. Just go with the vibes. Or as the youngins would say, it's just the wave, man. Just follow the wave. The wave. Okay, this guy is playing Kaisa. Kaisa Ramis. I'm not really. I have seen some innovation here from the Chinese players. I'm not seeing anything that's like working, except for the fact that they really like playing Jinx Flex. There's usually 1 or 2 players going for it. Kaisa. Off meta into 8th. Yeah, they've been playing. They have done some weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but none of them has been successful. None of them have been successful. It's a lot of 6th to 8ths. And then it's like, Malzahar 3 or a hero augment like Shen. Shen's done pretty well. Shen hero is if there's anything that we can draw conclusions, the Shen hero augment's pretty solid. But I feel like the hero augments right now this patch are getting buffed by the fact that reroll is so common. Because what's the #1 problem with a lot of hero augments, besides their baseline power level, is whether or not you can hit quickly. And they're hitting faster than average. Double silver. Silver Destiny. Table scraps and rolling for days. When you don't hit, that's exactly right. When you're not hitting with your hero augment on tempo, because you have like, I think this is why Nico struggles the most. I think Nico is probably the weakest hero augment, even though she's kind of good, is because it feels like you can't really hit. But with Mundo's uncontested. Vi's pretty good. I think Vi is very fun to play. And Juggernauts again are less contested. But Nico's kind of hard to hit. A lot of people want to play Nico right now. For the 1 and 2 costs, you should on average be able to hit. Garen's not that contested. Malphite is hard to play, but usually you're not picking that unless you have a way that you can get Malphite 3. And then Zac and Kennen. Kennen is actually surprisingly contested because he's played in like Zyra Khan, he's played in Kaisa, and he's also played in Malphite, and you even go for 3-star Kennen sometimes, so he can actually be kind of hard. Kenan. Duplicator. IE Flail. Smolder 2. Okay, so he has Smolder 2 and he uses Duplicator. He has 5 Smolders on 6. What the heck? Wow. That's actually a really big deal, because he's getting another Duplicator soon, right? Wait, no, that was his first augment. When do you get? So you get after 5. So he might still have dupes. I'm actually kind of sad that Lulu can't be shown up on Carousel. They never figured that out. If there's one thing that that they haven't convinced me of yet, is that the monster trainer stuff is like not completely like wonky. I think the prime exhibit A to like, again, I don't really like feeding into conspiracy theories, but I do think that monster trainer is like very buggy and very wonky, is that they can't find a way to introduce Lulu on Carousel without breaking. And I think that that alone makes me think that monster trainer is like there's some weird fuckery going on. This guy is Find Your Center. Is he playing? He's playing fan service with IE, GS, Titans, and Visage. His items are not very good. But maybe it's okay. Guys to hit Udyr 2 but kill the Zcon. You have to be really careful about like what you make on your roll down. Another small subtle thing about reroll comps is some things you upgrade and some things you don't. That's another element of reroll metas that I think people get wrong a lot, which is they just roll for their units. But for example, I was playing Xayah fan service, and I was like, I asked Dishop to help me look at through VODs, like what did I do, because I felt like I should have won these games or gotten second minimum, but I got like a third or fourth. I'm like, what could I have done better? And like I remember one thing that he said that stuck out to me was like, he said that I shouldn't be making Yasuo too on my roll down. He said Yasuo is like really useless at a huge sink of gold. And I was like kind of surprised by that, because I was like thinking that upgrade quality matters a lot when you're trying to roll for tempo on stage 3. But it makes sense because 3 costs is 9 gold, and that is something that won't single-handedly swing you fights. It might swing a fight, but most likely it will not. And that just like ties up a bunch of your gold, and you can't like econ back up or roll again. So there's definitely like elements of reroll line nuance that people miss because they're like actually not figuring out what they can and can't hold. It's not that they can't fix Lulu, they'd rather use the dead time to fix something else. Maybe that could be definitely part of it as well. There's also a bug with power up on your monster. Let's say you bench your monster and you twos on him, you power up is gone, you have to sell it, and the game is over. Well, you can also remove it as well. But yeah. It's a cool concept. I like Monster Trainer conceptually. I think that the design of it has not landed exactly, but I think the concept is cool. Okay, Huanmie 10 loss. No, go back to Huanmie, man. This guy has 4 dupes. Oh my god. Wait, how did he get 4 dupes? What the heck? Going for Kabuko 3 as well. 6 Juggernaut Smolder. He found Lee Sin on 7. What? Insane. Over 9,000 Smolder. Looks like he's losing to fan service Xayah. Still has a duplicator though. I mean, his spot for Smolder this game is a lot better. He's 1-off Smolder 3. Oh, you duped the first dupe. Oh, I see. It's kind of like your first wish is to ask for more wishes. Is that how it works? You just duped the first dupe. Oh. I got a shiny Kog'Maw as my free 3 cost from a VOD portal. That's fun. Shiny. I mean, I love Easter eggs like that. I think they're fun. I think they do a good job of it. He's eating the Kabuko. JG, BT, Titans. He's playing Janna carry, Janna primary carry, and crew. He's actually playing classic crew. 4 crew, Janna primary. I mean, this was something that I tried to play back at the beginning of the set because I thought Janna. This is back when Janna reroll was still like something that people thought was borderline playable, but not sure. Because in PvE, Janna reroll was really good, but Janna in crew was secretly really, really strong. Tiny team. Volibear Jinx. Holy. Dude, I feel like China thinks Jinx is just good. Or like one of the best default lines. And they play Volibear Jinx. They play Wraith Jinx. One thing is for sure though, they do not play Vertical Star Guardian. Have we seen any Vertical Star Guardian today? No. But we've seen Jinx in a lot of games. I mean, he's getting Malzahard. Malzahard. I tried playing Kaisa and I got contested and went 8th. I hope it helps the stats. You played Kaisa mech? Okay, the thing is, don't play contested Kaisa. Don't play contested. That's not helping us, man. That's just dragging down the stats. Come on, man. No, I appreciate you, Toki Sword. Thank you. Contested Kaisa. Just because Frodan said to try mech Kaisa. No, don't waste your. That's 25 minutes of your life. You'll never get back. But as long as you had fun, though. If you had fun, then it's worthwhile. Contested Kaisa equals more stats. That's actually true. You're putting 2 inputs into it, though. I did not have fun. That's okay. You're a time billionaire. All of you guys are time billionaires. It's like one of my favorite concepts that was like catching on not too long ago. When people are like, everyone's a billionaire. You're just a billionaire in, I think it's like seconds or minutes or something like that. I think billionaire in seconds. Like your first billion seconds of your life versus the second, because everyone on average has 3 billion seconds. I thought that was pretty fun. Fun way to think about it. So you probably can afford it. You guys are all billionaires in chat. This guy only socialized his backline? It's probably a visual bug. What if we die tomorrow? Well, if you do die tomorrow, I salute you for your service. Thank you for adding 2 more Kaisa games into the pool. I might not be a billionaire. Well, in that case, you have the last whatever X time you have on this planet. You don't have a second to waste, which is why it's important. It is crucial that you take out your credit card and swipe for the chibi that you've always wanted. I mean, if time, listen, man, we're not taking anything with us, so you might as well spend your gold. So you might as well swipe for your chibi while you can, if you're almost out of time. Enjoy life while you have it. Okay, backup dancers, Kaisa. I mean, this Kaisa spot looks fine. He is not going to hit Darius 3, though. Perfect form, Zach. He went with the chibi instead of a sub. Yeah, because that's like long-term net benefit for me. Because if you swipe for TFT, that means TFT will live longer as a game, which means that I have a career. So, I mean, you could sub to me, but that's just giving some of your money to Jeff Bezos as well, and that doesn't help me. Helping Jeff Bezos, I mean, that guy doesn't need any more help. But if you give money to Riot Games, they might continue to invest some of that into TFT, and that gives me a career. This guy went for Vi 3, by the way, as his duo carry. And I was talking about like how Juggernaut frontlines can play Vi as a duo carry. So you're saying I spent millions on TFT? You and me both, friend. Thanks, man. I'm taking a loan to pull my favorite chibi. You know, what are they gonna do when you're dead? How are they gonna get their loan back? I mean, hopefully you're not messing with shady people, and the debt collectors go after anyone else they're related to. But I mean, what's done is done. What's done is done. Are they gonna dig you up and demand that you pay them back, or they're gonna repo your chibi Guan? Good luck with that. You've already 2-factor authenticated your password, and you know what? They're not going to be able to get back in. They don't remember your last pass. Good luck with that. This guy is Darius 3. How do they hit, man? The Darius, I guess it's because if you're rolling for Kaisa on 6, you're just not going to hit Darius 3 very fast. Versus the Malzahar 3 players are rolling on 7. Can't wait for the debt collector to break my kneecaps with a cutscene. Oh man, that's actually nuts, dude. Eventually, AI art generation gets so advanced. Okay, he's barely living. Wait, it's another case where Kaisa looked good and then he just loses every fight and just dies.
这样的话继续
You know what,
连
man?
胜地位
I think this
连
guy
胜
needs to learn the new tech, Kaisa mech. AI generation, AI art generation gets so good that they start generating their own cutscenes.
方面拿诺手的银血剑
I log on to my loan shark. I log on to my my account on Mid Journey and see the loan shark also sending me a friend request. I saw this thing where like I read this like because like Adobe is like really far behind the AI wars or whatever, and I was reading about an Adobe employee just talking about all the mismanagement of what's going on there. Seems pretty bad.
要的人太多了。
The Ramus water bug is annoying. Agreed. I need them to change that stat. When I die, I would like to be cutscene by Chibi, Stargar, and Ari. Sounds good. For your eulogy,
6胜盾
I'll say, and this is the way they want to be remembered. In closing, Kata Beta didn't know this person at all. Probably a mid-tier TFT player, but S-tier chatter. And in conclusion, here's this cutscene. And I'll just play the music. I'll play the clip.
另外一边白纸先被送走了，关少爷打镜像赢下来，这样的话避免自己成为第7名。
Another Jinx player barely getting through. So we have Jinx, we have Malzahar, we have Zac Hero Augment. We have Smolder. And then we have Jin reroll. We have Jin reroll, but with no Mundo 3. Jin 3.
前面的都有点太扎实了。
Generally speaking, they go after your estate if you die with debt, unless family co-sign that they do go after them. If your estate can't pay, then it might be written off. Okay, so what you're saying is make sure that I have no estate, no family, no ties, no friends, get wiped off the face of the grid, and then go down thousands, if not millions, in debt to Riot Games. Is that the setup? I think that's the order. That's the correct build.
这波对阿柏来说主要很伤啊，因为赢这一波就意味着自己大概率能进一个前4名了。黑尾狗这边扛不住的，关少爷这波会死，但现在变成自己甚至有可能会变成第6。
They're stopping you from putting a cutscene before they slide you in your coffin at
但是黑尾狗存了50
at the
还要上
ground.
9嘛
No, man.
打完野怪应该就要上了。
The Adobe AI is probably asking their own debts for payment before it answers these questions. Dude, I opened up like Adobe Acrobat to like fill out a PDF, and I can't tell you how many prompts it asked me to like start my free trial and like sign up for your account, and also your trial is ready to expire that you didn't sign up for, so now you have to subscribe in order to sign this PDF. And I'm just here saying like, you know what? I'll just file my taxes late and take the because I'm filing my taxes late. I'm like, I'll just take the IRS penalty. It's not worth it. You know what? Just get me in trouble with the government. It's all good. It's not worth it.
选择是6斗用到底吗？还是因为没有找到天使？
主要还得小心点这个融合5，以后别吃错了。最后2秒换位的时候，很容易这个换着换着把自己的一个副坦给换不见了。
对，他那个
Tax fraud is better than the Adobe script. Yes.
过去以后，诺手再砍。
I'll just commit, tax fraud. It's all good.
劈2下过去。
I'm sure
I'm
sure the government won't
这
mind.
个蚂蚱的伤害搭配诺手的伤害，诺手点伤之后把一些前排。
Well, Malzahar Darius, he had 4 dupes at one point, so he's making the full comeback. So it's Malzahar,
堆起来的这个循环。
Smolder made it out. Nope, Smolder died. CH. Oh no, I think he got 4th. I think he got 4th. I think he's 4th right now. And then we have the Hero Augment, and then we have Jinx.
这波 Carelessd 能不能赢黑尾狗很关键，只要事关他能否进入到前3名。
When I handle my mom's estate, credit cards don't give AF. They just close it until you have a nice day. Really? Okay. Can you please tell me what credit card company that was? Because I might need to make some recommendations. Also, this guy's eating his poppy too. Is that right? I mean, maybe he doesn't care. Carelessd. Maybe he doesn't care. He's just that good. Maybe it is that good. You just like eat a 2-star poppy. Oh. Oh, wow. That was actually really close. Is that Huanmie? Yeah, it is Huanmie.
那就是开资格了。
Huanmie, the dirty first Wraith player.
挡手局。
对于另外7个人来说，下把会有一点点。
I mean, he might not be the most fundamentally sound TFT player in China, but man, when he has the read, he is scary.
现在的话又是做到一个很完整的质量，很饱满的质量了。
Or rather, I say that because I think a lot of other players in China have flamed him. And also NA players have flamed him as well. Like, I think the thing about Huanmie that's really interesting is that a lot of players don't think that he makes a lot of good decisions on average in a lot of games. But you can't argue with those results. He also gets rank 1 a lot in China. So it's like, I mean, I think he's worth watching. I respect him a lot. But of course, the thing about like top level TFT is that a lot of players develop ego. Oh. I mean, I think he's making the full comeback. Credit cards make so much money off interest. I guess they don't care about the actual balance in the end. It's true, man. Americans are terrible with their credit card. Maybe it's an unpopular take, but if you're trying to, if you're serious about someone in a dating relationship type of scenario, like you're trying to move in, or you're like thinking about proposing, getting married, you two need to have a serious conversation about that before you guys start to take the next step. This is probably some of the best serious dating. If you're casually dating, don't worry about it. It is what it is. If you're trying to figure that out. But like serious dating advice or like romantic relationship advice is like, figure out what debt they have and figure that out before you get like serious, because that stuff is real. It could be like a huge obstacle for your difficulty to overcome when you guys are dating. Hey, first time chatter, I know your videos are catered to competitive players, but did you notice the videos with your face and thumbnails do worse? You might be chopped, but that's okay. Is that so? Are you talking to me? Pretty sure the website TFT Academy literally has my face on it on the front page, and it is according to it, I'm just reading here. This is just what the words say. The #1 source for teamfight tactics, comms, and guides, and my face is right here on it. So I mean, I think objectively you were just incorrect. Microsoft is doing the same shit now. I tried opening a video on my phone on my PC. The player proceeded to say I was missing a .99 codex. Really? They're charging you a codex for 99 cents? You know what's messed up about that? There's also like that transaction fee. They just take a cut off too. They're literally nickel and diming you for pennies. Like that you would expect with inflation that they would actually make it worth it, but if it's 99 cents, they have to like pay a fee on top of that as well. They're literally just trying to get like cents off of you. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. The Zaya board is looking pretty capped. I mean, yeah, it's looking pretty capped. The Malzahar board is looking pretty hard to deal with as well. Like, all these boards look really strong. Perfect Zac. If you replace you with Solus's aura pick, the site would double in traffic. If they replace me with the Solus aura, what's the Solus aura pick? I'm scared to ask. I'm scared to find out. Oh, wait, Poppy's on the back line. Oh, Poppy's son. Oh. So this time this time it didn't work out. There's no B patch. As far as I know, there's no B patch. I think if they B patch, the players would actually complain a lot because they've been scrimming for 3 to 4 days for the upcoming TPC. Now, you could argue that Riot should not be held prisoner by 100 TFT players in the world. Do you guys think there deserves to be a B patch? Also, you have to remember that B patch doesn't also disrupt just 100 players who are scrimming, but also a lot of the casual, because again, the game has patched so often. I don't know if it's worth doing that. I don't even think B patch is that necessary. I just think it's like the patch is also evolving. Like more and more people are playing other types of things. Even though, yeah, it's like, okay, the final two was Zyra Khan fan service versus Malzahar, which are the best 2 comps in the game. But we have seen some different things being like tried out and pushed.
16分，有可能在4局拿到赛点。
Why are we B patching? We're not B patching. We're not B patching. Guys, I don't. If you were to ask me, should we B patch? I would say nay. I would vote nay. Actually, you know what? Let's just straw poll it right now. Oh wait, the poll's not working. All right, let me go ahead and copy paste this into Discord. I'm trying to just keep track of it. Game 3. Okay, that being said, like, what were the... So, Jinx won game 1. Also, we have to play some ads, so be right back in a couple minutes. Hi, is it me or the animation fights composition seem very unfun? Animation fights? Jinx won game 1 or game 2, and then Malzahar... Oh, no, this is Protector Malzahar. That's right. That was kind of weird. Protector Malzahar, Mentor Mech... Twilight, Hero Augment Shen. And then Crew Jin. That was top 4. And then we have Jinx, Malzahar, Mentor Mech, and Viego top 4. And then game 3 was Malzahar, Zaya Rakat. I mean, fan service hasn't even been doing that well. Smolder top 4. And Perfect Hero Zach. You know, I don't think that it's that bad. Like that kind of spread is not even that bad. Okay, quick poll while we're waiting here. Quick poll. B patch?
阿伯第6的话就可以开这个。对，这边就看一下 Carelessd 会选择什么样的阵容来去尝试登顶。
对，我觉得其实最好的选项还是95。我会认为啊，最好的选项真的还是95。
All right, I'm putting up a poll. I'm curious. There's a poll in chat. Would you guys be in favor or against the B patch? Poll up. Just curious. B patch, yay or nay? Not that it matters. There's also a don't care option if that's what you guys want.
感觉这个版本要一个人开资格，要能吃下这把太难了，还是得
Only tiny team. So you would B patch one thing. You would literally have Riot Games stop all of what they're doing and B patch tiny team. Because remember, B patches aren't free. Important important considerations. B patches aren't free. They because you have to do all the localization and patch stuff. So that's just something to think about. He patched for what? Malzahar? I don't even know, man. I actually don't even think Malzahar... Like, I actually think that they could just do a couple of buffs. Like, we just rebuff Karma, rebuff Yuumi, and then buff... like maybe buff edgelords a little bit. I don't think we need to buff a caller. That's about it. I don't even think we need to. I don't even think we need to nerf it that much. I mean, we can nerf fan service like a little bit. We could probably give fan service a tiny haircut. We could nerf tiny team. Maybe it's controversial, but I kind of like 3-cost being strong. I don't know why, but I like that Malzahar is good because it makes me feel like Malzahar gives you a good bunch of flex options. I know that reroll Malzahar is really good, but if Malzahar becomes more like, have you guys played a lobby where like 3 people are playing Malzahar on their board? It's really hard for the Malzahar player to hit 3-star Malzahar, and that's completely reasonable. And it's because he's a flexible unit. So I think it's fine. Personal. Maybe make fan service not guaranteed to show up after getting one. That just increases frustrations. If you know what I hate about fruit mechanics specifically is that sometimes I feel like I'm playing the Pokemon TCG. Do you guys know what the Pokemon TCG is? Have you guys ever? Sorry, do you know what one of the main mechanics of Pokemon TCG is? And this is like, I mean, this is something that maybe people do know. I've complained about it a handful of times. Oh, this guy's playing Starfall Nico. Is that literally it's built into the game to flip coins. And if it's heads, it works. If it's tails, it doesn't work. It's literally written on the card. It says flip 3 coins. And for each heads, do this. And sometimes you just flip coins and it's just tails, and you just don't. It doesn't work. And that's what it feels like with fruits, man. Sometimes you're just like flip, and it's like, well, I didn't. Well, now my unit doesn't work. Flip, and it's like, oh, well, now it works. I hit. I hit. And like that is just actually, in my opinion, I think that's like really bad for like the feelings. The feeling like when you're like trying to go off of like whether or not things work, and you're just like, oh well, I flipped the coin, it doesn't work. That's what it feels like when you're like building in more failure rate into whether or not you can actually see it. It's like it's balanced, but it actually increases the number of bad feelings. Because then you flip to hit, and then you do well, and then you flip to and you lose, and then you get completely blown out. Erico, thank you for the 27 months. Maybe a tiny Katarina buff. I don't actually think Katarina needs that big of a buff. I think they need to fix certain things about Kat. But yeah, because I think Katarina actually is playable. I mean, Soju actually showed you a game that you could play Katarina. I guess it's like Exalted Adventure, which doesn't count. But I think Katarina is like somewhat playable. But you could also justify a tiny bit of a buff. I just think that Kat is inherently kind of a frustrating champion to play around. So it's the same concept as like, if you want to buff Katarina, then you should buff Akali a little bit. And I think they're okay. I think where they are right now, I'm fine with. Hearthstone did the same thing with Ragnaros and Dr. Boom. Not really though, because what you're describing is like variance with outcomes. I'm talking about whether or not things actually function at a baseline level. I wouldn't compare like a random outcome of like the where it hits and where it targets to whether or not something actually has its power or not. It's weird that they wanted to remove stall comps and stack up damage. Now Malzahar's the best comp. I mean, yeah. It's the thing about TFT is that what do you guys remember what they did for Malzahar? They gave him a 5 mana shave. But the thing is, they also did a handful of other things, like they buffed 6 heavyweights, they buffed Poppy, they buffed Malzahar, they buffed Wraith. And so the total, it's not about the number of buffs either. That's like one of the biggest pet peeves that I think Mordog has when people talk about balance patches, the number of buffs. But it's also not insignificant that it just so happens that the 6 heavyweight Malzahar build, why is it so awkward? Is because you literally took everything that got buffed and you put it in one comp, and then other things got nerfed, so it can't really. It's just kind of like the incremental gains. It's like addition to subtraction plus the addition. So TFT balance is really tough like that. Also, I will say that Malzahar feels way more reasonable because like the fight, like basically it's like if you can't deal with Malzahar, if you don't have enough stats or enough damage, you just get outburned. But it kind of happens slowly, right? Part of the reason why if they just simply buffed other things, then Malzahar wouldn't be that big of a threat. Because have you guys played a Malzahar board where like everything survives by like a sliver of HP, like this much HP? Yeah, right. Like you've all played Malzahar where like, oh, like 5 things stayed alive and nothing died. And that's simply whether or not a comp can actually race him or not. Hey man, do you think you can hit rank 1 while having normal 9 to 6 job with streamers who play job 8 hours? No, I don't think so. I mean, sorry, I think you can. I don't think it's very likely. Because you have to be, on average, a much stronger player than them. And so, no, I don't think you can. TFT is a very competitive game. I think it's the same with anything. Can you have a 9 to 6 job and hit rank 1 in any other game? And I would say you can if that game is not inherently that competitive. When I say competitive, I mean the number of players and the competitive scene.
团队建设，大家最想要的东西。
Can you have a 9 to 6 job and be #1 in League of Legends? Probably not. Can you do that in Dota? Probably not. CS? Probably not. Rocket League? Probably not. And I'm comparing to other like competitive games. If you want to take something that's a little bit more like strategy genre oriented, it probably definitely not in chess.
一个痛快抽干了 Carelessd， 这个两个卡车来的好不容易。
Right? Definitely not in. I mean, if you want to talk about Legends of Runeterra, like probably, but that scene is not really competitive anymore. It's more feasible in the TCG space. It is. But there's also very few opportunities to do that. I would say that maybe Hearthstone you could, but the competitive scene has contracted so significantly in Hearthstone that, again, the reason why I say you can do that in a handful of things. You could do that in a lot of like online TCG arena spaces where the player base is like pretty small, but TFT is far too competitive. TFT is far too competitive. There's an entire pro scene that's developed, and there's a lot of like difficulties around that, but I would say that it's gonna be hard. You can, it's just really, really hard. And I mean, I can look at the leaderboards here. There are some people who have hit rank 1 before. Like Kai Wang he's a web dev, but web devs are like, I mean, Kai Wang don't tell his boss. Kai Wang plays in the middle of the day a lot. You're telling me 476 games? That's not someone who has a full 9 to 5 job. That's like, you know, traveling and commuting, coming back and playing TFT. That's definitely not. He's a web dev at home. Okay, but don't tell his boss. But I'm pretty sure Kai Wang plays on office hours sometimes when he's not. When he's not busy. So like maybe you can. Depends on how you stretch the definition of the 9 to 5, 9 to 6. But you can. You have to basically be so much better or like a very, very strong exceptional player.
回到题，
Socks or Milk or someone hit it previous set, didn't they? I mean, Milk has never had a real job in his entire life. His closest thing to a real job is being a pro gamer. So, but you're talking about Socks. And Socks did have a job, and Socks is one of the exceptional. I think Socks is actually a true genius. So it certainly is possible. Also, I think TFT also tends to select for that. Like, I know, I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I think that TFT tends to appeal to a lot of people who like tend to skew towards like being geniuses. I don't know why. Like, I just feel like everyone that I encounter at the highest level have like enormously high IQ, or at least potential to be high IQ. Or they are complete dumbasses, but like godlike at TFT, if that makes sense. It's like one or the other. Either it's like they are absolutely brilliant and like anything they assert their minds to, they would be top like percentile of the top percentile. Or it's like they dedicated all of their entire being and intellect prowess into just being good at TFT, and they are completely incompetent and useless outside of the TFT context. It's like one or the other, right? And either way, it's sort of like they invested like a lot into being in this game. So it's like it's like that. I think it caters to people who pay attention. Trust me when I say some people pay deep attention, and it doesn't exactly work. It's not. I don't think it's just attention. I think it's more like TFT caters to people who don't mind doing homework, which happens to skew towards people who are academically inclined. Like, I'm not trying to say like we're smarter than other gamers, but I will say on average at high elo, it would not surprise me if TFT players scored some of the highest IQ. I mean, let me see. There was a really bad article that sampled like 1,000 gamers, and they said they hear the average IQ of gamer communities. This was done like a year ago. A company tested the IQs of 20 gaming communities. I'll let you guess which was the lowest one. League of Legends was #1. And I'm pretty sure TFT would score higher. Black Myth, Wukong, Baldur's Gate, Counter-Strike, Elden Ring, right? All like sophisticated. And then you have like Call of Duty and FIFA at the very bottom. I'm just saying, I don't think TFT would score here. I think TFT would score somewhere here. Is what I'll say. You think you are smarter than me? No, but I think they're so open. Wasian are. Katarina. No StarCraft. Was StarCraft on the list? I went through the list really quickly because this is Mundo 3, Cat. Wait, this guy's playing Katarina. There you go. If I watch all of Frodan videos, does it count as homework? It does. It does. When you watch my content, I mean, you guys are definitely not here for anything else but to learn about TFT, right? You guys are just using me as a shortcut to get to rank 1 because you know I'm so educational and insightful. So the Katarina player hit pretty early, but the Kaisa player, the Mundo player, they're all a little bit behind the tempo. The Nico player was still on 1-star Nico. Oh wait, what? Oh, wow! He just sent it, and he had 4 dupes. Wait, I think this guy might be the 4 dupe god. Every time I look at Huanmie, this guy has 4 dupes. What was about the set that very aligned with Sox's playstyle? I mean, part of it was, okay, Sox did really well early in TFT for a couple of reasons. One, he's a true genius and a pioneer of a lot of early TFT theory. 2, I think some sets were like conducive to his playstyle because some sets required more like board building thinking and augments weren't really around to push playstyles the way they do. And then 3, I think the player base was smaller. I think that people really underestimate. It's kind of like modern sports discussion. One of the most frustrating things about modern sports discussion is that people obsess over historical stats and greatness without taking the context very often that the field was less competitive, right? People, if you were to evaluate that, the best basketball player of all time would be Bill Russell because he won so many NBA final championships on the Boston Celtics, but the era was fundamentally less competitive. And that is the same with other greats that are in other sports when you compare it to modern times. When in modern times, athleticism and competition has never been fiercer. It's harder than ever to be dominant in like the modern age and time. And so that's when you see like players performing well now. It's exceptional. So like when Wasian and Dissoap are doing well, I find that way more impressive than people who hit rank 1 back in set 4 and 5. And of course, it's even more impressive if people can do that all throughout their career. Like a person that I think is really underrated is Robin, because Robin did it back then, and he's doing it now. So I think that's like that's the conversation we should be having in TFT. But in modern sports, people think that's like, well, you know, the game has changed. It's like easier now. It's like that. I mean, maybe some things, some aspects of it, like maybe physical, like players getting less career-ending injuries. But the game is like far more competitive now, especially compared to 50, 60, 70 years ago. Like Will Chamberlain, yeah, exactly. I mean, Will Chamberlain was scoring 100 points, but he was 1.5 feet taller than everybody else, either by reach or by actual height. If you watched clips of Will Chamberlain play basketball, it legitimately was like smurfing, IRL. Like the play, it was just not competitive in the slightest, man. And so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that to downplay. I'm saying that part of it is that it is impressive that Sox could rank 1. I think that if he was trying to do it today, it'd be significantly harder because TFT is way more elevated and leveled up compared to before. At the competitive level. But it's also one of those things where like some people sit on the fence of like there's no true GOAT. There's just like the greats of different eras, and you don't say the greatest of all time. You would say just like the era, like these are all the legends, which I think is like a I mean, I think that's like technically true. That's a lot less fun and also somewhat lazy analysis. Like everyone's great, but I'm of the belief that in TFT, I guess TFT is too young. That's another aspect of it. TFT's only been alive for a couple of years. I think that the conversation becomes much more interesting about 5 to 10 years from now. Like, who are like the true greats in TFT? I think, yeah. They changed rules because of wheelchair. They did. Okay, Kaisa 3 hit. This is probably one of the better performing Kaisa games that we've seen. Fan service also hit. Looks like a lot of people are online. It should be in the stage 4. What about someone like Jerry Rice who played 20 years in a sport where the average is 3.3 years and he wasn't even protected with the new wide receiver rules or simply being a QB? I mean, that's one of the things where you can put him in like the historical grades, but is he the best? Okay, I'm actually not super familiar with NFL stuff, so I can't really comment on that. All I know is that Tom Brady has like things that probably won't ever be broken, similar to Wayne Gretzky. Like, I think as far as it goes for the NFL, like people comparing Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady, I think it's like not close, but I think people want it to be close because I think it's like interesting for conversation. But we'll see, because Patrick Mahomes is also kind of a freak. So I would say that that's the extent of my football knowledge. I don't really know much beyond that. TFT changes too often for someone to be like Faker. I don't think that even has to be. One, I'm not sure that's entirely true, and two, I don't think that is even the comparison that needs to be done. Like, people really want League and TFT to be compared, and I feel like that is. Oh, this guy reforged Rage Blade into a Visit. That's pretty good. I feel like that's like unnecessary. Because it's just like different. Like no one has to be Faker. Also, League in general like caters differently to their players. Okay, Kog'Maw went. I think Kog'Maw's AVP today has been 8. I think it went 8 twice. It feels like people really want TFT to be compared to like sports athletes of different things, and it doesn't feel like accurate to me. It feels like TFT should be compared to like the poker players. Is there like a poker player who's considered to be the GOAT? I don't think so. I think there's just like a group of amazing poker players and some of the true greats, and then there's just a list of like good players. I think it's like that. There's like an obsession because it's in the League of Legends client with like making TFT be compared to League, but it's like yeah, I think it's like really hard to make those comparisons. Can we consider you Coma of TFT since you coached Jiso to multiple world titles? Sure. That makes me sound pretty good. Dan Negreanu, Phil Ivey. Those are great. Those are great. I mean, I actually met and hung out with Dan Negreanu because he was a big Hearthstone guy. Funny dude. Very, very, very charismatic. He was not very good at Hearthstone though. But he was good at Hearthstone relative to like his investment, but I think he liked gambling too much. Wow, the Vi wrapped him. Nasher's GS, Last Whisper, give him the Cheer Mundo. Can you compare TFT to fighting games? You know, fighting games have this reputation that it's like 100% agency and no luck because it's like all skill. Oh, Huanmie went 7. You want to hear something that's crazy? I asked some people, like, I asked some esports orgs, like, why won't they get into these kinds of games and whatnot? And, like, one of them was, like, you know, have you ever considered picking up, like, a Street Fighter player? I asked the Vitality guys, like, Vitality doesn't have, like, a big investment in Street Fighter. And I was like, I feel it's kind of weird because all the other orgs do. And they said that there's too much variance in Street Fighter. They said TFT has less variance than Street Fighter. I was like, that's crazy, man. That's actually a crazy ass statement. Can you please tell more people that? Not because you want to flame Street. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. I actually like the game a lot. I still catch every major, and try to follow the scene. But it's funny that they actually said that.
选择卖掉瑞兹，瑞兹不关键了，左右换了个边，碰到关少爷。
Give him the chair, Mundo. I mean, this guy looks really strong, but he's at 1 HP. And Kai'Sa's starting to fall off. This is like the Kai'Sa no Darius 3 fall off. My friends still think TFT is a minigame that is unserious. I mean, that's fine. I think I like don't care about those people. Is that too controversial to say? I think those players I think some players aren't worth trying to convince. Because they're I don't know, I guess it's like if they can't really bring themselves to understand that, then I just feel like that's a waste of time. I'd rather worry about players who enjoy TFT and want to consider it as like a competitive game and try to just like help them enjoy it. Like I actually stopped caring about it entirely, like convincing people who think TFT is just a game with no skill and all luck and stuff like that. I just find I find that conversation like really tiring. Because I mean, part of it is that if they're your friends, that's different, right? Because you're trying to like hang out and vibe. I'm talking about like the people who are just convinced that it's just like a stupid kids game or whatever and whatever. It's just like I don't really care about that anymore. It's a waste of my time. And like the interesting thing is that it's they only look stupider as time goes on. Because there's just so much evidence. There's like the evidence is starting to just pile up as time goes on that TFT is very much driven as a game of skill, and like it's also a game of incredible variance. It's both. Oh, this guy has Samir. But this guy has Samir 3. I never mind. This game's all luck. I take it all back. He rolled like 4 times and he got Samira 3. Soju's about to run it down on Summoner's Rift. What, is he not tired of running it down in TFT? I mean, Soju's actually been not sweating, but he's actually trying really, really hard for the cup. He's actually been like grinding and showing up for scrims and stuff like that. I hope that he does well in the next TPC. I think he's motivated. I think the fact that he came actually pretty close to winning the last TPC lit a fire under him. So I hope that he does well. And yeah, I mean, Milk asked me for help. I probably will help him actually. We'll see what he wants. But Darius 3. I mean, Kai'Sa once again, it was like he hit was like 70 HP, but he can't get to Darius 3 and he just dies. I guess it's a 3rd place. Dude, Malzahar so far. I'm pretty sure this mouth comp. If it somehow beats Samira 3, I would not be surprised. I'm pretty sure Samira 3 wins. But if it's like one of these things about, there's just something about this composition, it just feels like it just like wins all it just like wins fights. It feels like it should win. All my Normie friends I tried to get to play TFT quit, but eventually kept coming back because the quality of the game is bonkers. I mean, that's also a thing too. TFT is just a high quality game. How many stacks on 8 Soul Fighters? I mean, does it really matter? He has Samira 3. Dude, you think he's gonna lose with Samira 3? Do you ever try to play for Akali secondary in the Kai'Sa comp? Does the heavy Malzahar comp contest your Darius? Akali's not reliable, is the issue. Akali's like best as like the 3rd carry. But yeah, I wouldn't say Akali's very reliable. It's just the problem is that she just doesn't do enough damage, and she sometimes randomly ints. Not randomly, it's predictable, but you can't effectively play around it. Sometimes you're just gonna lose because Akali ints. Have you tried the new Doombots mode? I've seen people try it. It looks really hard. And as you guys know, I am not the best League of Legends player. So I don't have that much time. Actually, I don't have that much time these days to even play it as well for fun, because all my free time right now, my free time is going towards playing 2xKO. I actually play that game off stream for a bit. Because my wife and my son are visiting her family in Colorado right now, I'm actually at home and I have like an hour or two at night that I don't have to do anything. So I've just been playing 2xKO. Very fun game. All right. So this is game. Oh, that was game 3. Sorry, game 3. This is game 4. All right, and I was told that this is the last game because they're playing checkmate, but it ends after this. But I think a couple people are in check, so one of these 3 people win. We'll see. Let's go into. They're playing checkmate 20, I think. So that game was, let me see. 2xKO is so fun. I agree. I think it's really fun. I want to get better enough to the point where I can play it on stream and don't feel like I completely suck, but we'll get there. So that was Samira 3, Soul Fighters, Malzahar, Kaisa, and Mundo hero augments. You know, Zaya Rakan has not actually been doing that great in China today. I mean, it's a 4-game sample size, but it only top 4'd 1 time, I think. People tested it way back since 2xK felt really bad. Do you know what changed? They changed a lot. They changed a ton of game mechanics in general. But yeah, it's like hard to summarize all the changes, but they basically changed a lot of the game flow, a lot of defensive mechanics, offensive mechanics, damage, combo length. They changed like a ton. And then also, perhaps most importantly, they also introduced new characters that are fun. Like I would say, like the characters they added have been really good. So it's a new game. Yeah, it is. It's basically a new game, and they also added Vi, Jinx, and Blitz, who have all been really fun characters to play. I think my team is Vi Blitz, but I'm not sure if I should be playing Vi Yasuo. But Yasuo is really, really hard. I tried playing a little bit of Yasuo last night, and I gotta tell you, man, my hands hurt. I tried playing some Yasuo, and my hands were hurting a little bit. Waiting for you to stream it. Maybe after TPC. After TPC, we can do like a. Give me one more week to like try to like. I actually have yet to play my first games. By the way, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like a person that loves playing training mode in fighting games, and so I'm actually just been spending a lot of time in training mode playing it. I'm a lab monster. Okay, not really a monster. I'm just a guy that I'm a lab rat. I like going in training mode and practicing for like hours. Treasure hunt. So we have treasure hunt, Viego. We have a cat 2 trick. I mean, I really like 2 trick right now for reroll lines. I like watching fighting games, and Neo was fun to see. I mean, I think 2xKO is going to be a fun game to watch personally, but I think some people said that it's going to be hard for casuals to get into. I personally think it's not that hard. But yeah, we'll see. Dan's the kid who rented a game and spent the first hour reading the instruction book. No. That's not the kind of player. The reason why is because in fighting games, I really want to feel like I can do what I want with the character. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to like learn to just like get to the mashing and the punching stuff like that. That's not the satisfaction for me in a fighting game. Is being able to have mastery over the character that I'm playing and feel like it's kind of like, okay, some people want to learn an instrument and like be able to play songs immediately, but for me, I want to be able to like feel like when I want to do something with the instrument that I'm learning, that I can like play and execute what I want. That I get a lot more satisfaction out of doing that than, well, this guy has 5 cats with 2 trick, than I do with like just going up and mashing buttons and stuff like that. Who's gonna win TPC 2? K3 Soju. After a certain point, you gotta practice your neutral and RPS. Oh yeah, for sure. But I want to make sure, like, because the thing is, you're completely right. And I do enjoy that aspect as well. It's just for me. I feel like the sequencing goes for me that I feel like I need to understand what my character can and can't do. And like understand that, and then I'll go into it, and I feel like neutral will be something that I like learn. Because like neutral is only learned by playing the game. And that's something that I'll like pick up second. I think that's just the ordering of what I want to do. Fair enough. I was the kid who read the instruction book. Oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I love it. I used to, you know what my favorite thing to do when I was a kid is? I used to go to Barnes & Noble and then just go to the Nintendo Power or strategy game section and just read all the, like, it was funny because I didn't even own the games that I was reading the strategy guide to, because back in the day they put like the magazines in the section where they had strategy guides on how to beat the game. I didn't even own half the games I was reading, but I just like reading it. I guess that explains a lot of like my content style. Right? So yeah.
白纸这边的话，你看我拿专属一般就长这个样子，就是一张，一般就是一张，他这里还有2张，已经算不错的了。
其实这是一个蛮常见的2阶段过渡。
Rage Blade Mundo with a Mundo pair. Give him the chair. I think 2-cost hero augments on average have been doing really well. I don't think we have seen a single 2-cost hero augment bot 4. Although it's only been Mundo and Shen, and we haven't seen any Vi. Also depends on the game. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Something like Melee requires you to be moved around the stage, but usually the combo optimization just becomes super important to get a high level. That is also true. Actually, you know, I haven't played much Melee lately, but because I practice a lot of like different neutral, my movement is like never really that bad. And so you always get the openings even if you can't like optimize your punish game. But the biggest problem with Melee right now for me is that I don't really have. What's going on here, man? Any mods? I think this guy is giving up. I'm just waiting to see what happens next. All right. Anyways, I think the thing about it for me is that fighting games are much more I feel like if I'm like if I fighting the game too much, I feel like I'm not enjoying it as much. So I think I need to like learn the links of like that. Crystal Gambit. Ooh, we can play some Crystal Gambit as well and things like that. Just go into 7 Crystal. I was like, oh, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. Wasn't there a Nico hero augment last game? Yeah, but on average, the 2-cost hero has been doing better. Friend, you were talking about build saves today in this pro community. Did you and Distal ever think about starting something in the direction? Yeah. I was thinking about starting a website dedicated to giving people some tips on comps and making some guides. I was thinking about doing that. I should really hit up Distal about that. So that's a good idea. Meta? Yeah, talk about the meta a little bit. Thinking about it, Mike. We'll see. You should name it TFT School. TFT School. But the thing is, people don't like school very much.
实际
但他怎么过只是给亚索？我以为他想玩
TFT University? Yeah, but those things are about to get defunded soon.
那这个装备的寻宝要玩什么呀？
国母海妖巨鲨，没有人能知道他要玩什么，你就无从防
What
守。
the website be called? I'm not sure, man. We'll figure it out. Are you not enjoying today's go? No, I am. I haven't played a lot of it. I only play like an hour a day. Not even. I play like 30 minutes to an hour. Also, I'm sort of stuck on some very specific hard combos. Like Vi can do electric
后面
attacks,
接一个踩，
which is like basically a delayed button press to do enhanced properties.
如果他真要会亚索的话，这种
And I'm just having way too much fun trying to
而且也
do
选择了光明重构啊。
optimal electrics when you don't
对于
even
他来
need
说的话
them.
希望后面手机能给他再补一些装备出来。
That's what the phase that I'm at right now.
光装，很快的选下了光
All right,
装
prismatic
HereWeGo 大剑
investment
一流
strategy.
他不会，他
不可能
不会玩
留中间啊。
不是，我在想他不会再拿重质重量吧？
Sword
他
overflow.
完全没装备啊。
So it's going sword overflow for the
但是
Kaisa
这里有一个
here.
很严重的事情，这个点我
Here we go is really interesting. Like I think he plays like a lot of comps, just weird.
大剑一流，我帮卡莎跟诺手都做满装了，结果我卡莎打了2个阶段只杀6只怪，剩下全是诺手杀，
就诺手会比
TFT homeschool. Yeah, there it is. I'll think about that.
这很尴尬。
Whoa, that Yasuo just deleted the backline unit.
2张亚索，只能先说一句期待。
我记得是
I meant more in the pro direction. Wait, you think we're not gonna have pro? We don't have pros in TFT Academy right now? You're talking about me and Dissa want to start our own study group? Because the thing is, Brosev basically has a study group of him and 30 players, which is just way too many people in my opinion. I think that they describe it as a friend group, which I think is probably more accurate. But I would say that if you're saying, do me and Dissa want to start a friend group?
挣的钱就不是用一点来说了。
I mean, maybe.
这
I
把
like
至少可以
friends.
蹭个5、60
I'll start it right now.
就蹭一大把钱，然后
Anybody want to be my friend?
还真有可能，而且这边前排的质量是有的，表示说他这个有分养到的天使，在这个阶段至少是能够打非常多下。
Radiant steadfast. Adapted. Oh, is this guy going for?
也踢过牌的。
Is this guy going for battle academia?
我不太信这里没有踢过牌，50会就40块钱。
Nah, I'm good.
直接去玩。
Okay.
盖伦 EZ，
I thought we were friends. Oh, there's one. Manda. Kendra's two. Okay.
再输3波下去300。
Friend, I'll be your friend three. Parasocially, Diego, you're not invited, man. I invite everyone but you. Cookies and cream, I'll be your friend. Okay, that's 4. All right, we're 1/7 of the way to Broseph. There it is, Mike. We started right now.
但是这把目前好像没有看到特别像是蚂蚱的人。
What is the S10 in the title for this tournament? So, S10 means season 10.
还真是，我们看了一圈，对吧？
对啊，好像没有人去玩。
Because TFT competitive didn't start at set 1. It started later.
3把表现都这么好的阵容，这把竟然空出来了。
Can 300 LP Masters players join?
我先找
Sure.
阵容定一下。
灭世打法就是我可以每一波，我可以每波上6张2费卡，再游2。
Apparently, we need to get to 30. Our quota is 30. So,
2费卡先上满。
后面
it'll be one of, you know what it is? It'll be like one of those, you guys ever joined those Clash of Clan guilds or Clash Royale guilds where they like regularly kick out the bottom performing people? It'll be like that. So, you are welcome to join until
这把先奔着13连胜。
you are the lowest ranked player and someone else higher LP wants to join. So, yeah, you can join.
好的，红蓝 buff 卡特3层都做出来了。猫咪一个技能打在很多身上，半条。
Yumi, huh?
确实，对于关系来说
You mean clans? No, the guilds, the guilds.
卡莎也在中期开始发力了。
Clash of Guilds. Can I be your friend? I can bring dog pics. Sounds good.
很多次的评价都是建立在登顶的赛制之外，他是一位非常稳定的选手，但是在登顶夺冠制当中，他的表现往往会出现到第4局、第5局爆发力不足的情况。但这一局选择拿下漫游训练师，其实已经是一个非常冒险的决定了。
没错。
Too much value, Gunblade.
今天真的不想再同意了。
I hit center 3 before Lucian 3 on 5. What? That's crazy,
一
man.
整个晚上的分。
Wave
然后我又推
theory.
荐了
The
霍亚万一他
wave.
是把老八了，那感觉我要
Dude,
挨
the
骂。
wave.
感觉下来要讨论一下，那卡特先3
Cat
了，
three
直接选择在这一波应该是看到了第8张直接冲刺，我觉得没有任何问题。 应该看到第7张就直接冲刺了，因为他前面
Frodan Digital makes TFT phase.
因为他6张加有个复制器。
No man, I just can't.
对，
I just can't.
节奏算是可以直接拉满的。
I
双粉丝福利
don't want to. I don't want to be like a person that just has to appeal to like TFT teenagers. It just doesn't feel right to me, man.
够的，猫还能丢出一个技能。
First of all, I don't even know if TFT players are like 12 and 11 and 13 years old. There might be, but I think TFT tends to skew towards older because I just think it's like a more thoughtful game.
现在中期也是打
It's a lot less about like, holy cow, I took a shotgun and I flew on angel wings and I shot LeBron James as Peter Griffin. You know, like that kind of game.
但是我总感觉
I don't feel like that's like that kind of audience that appeals to it.
这种
So
的节奏应该是会一直
it would just feel unnatural to me.
前面可以用霞，甚至用就是那飞力的狗，
对那亚菲利，
然后或者是用滑板鞋之类的去带装备，然后做一个强过渡，因为你只要做亚索的装备就好了。所以
So what? Hold on a second. What is
然后或者是
is Carelessd playing Bastion Yasuo?
然后做一个强过渡，因为你只要做亚索的装备就好了，所以前排肉装是随便喝的，所以其实应该是很好过渡的。
He has Treasure Hunt. I thought he was playing this for Mentors. I think he's actually rolling for Bastion Yasuo.
他刚刚好像左边
刚选出来而已。
对
We saw this in tournament yesterday with me first to Wraith.
白之力蒙多是选的慢抽的，因为6级有一张色旗就很好。
Wait a second.
经常有这种6级刚需。
He is. He rolled a 30.
对，说的就是船长。
船长当时是有点太变态了。
Okay, have you guys seen this?
边
This guy, the idea is you just play 6 Bastion Yasuo reroll and you go for 3-star Swain, Shinzao, Shen, and Yasuo, like whatever else you can get. And then Yasuo just like backline assassinates.
三百层会容易出事。300层就
Even with Prodigy being nerfed, I feel like Yuumi is super strong. She can wipe boards as a 1-star. That is not been my experience.
这边的话6级还是抽了。
I think a lot of people tend to feel like Yumi's the weakest 4 cost to play around right now.
6级有50块，其实还行
Out of all the common 4 costs that people have thought about. So
3轮金色。
that's interesting that that's been your experience because my experience has been Yumi's been quite poor.
选海克斯
I've seen people try though. I've seen people try.
应急护盾吧，感觉可以。这边画面的特斯拉线圈，
Artifact.
拿了1对4，
Wait, how did he get this artifact?
1对4的话，
Was that his cash out?
这边得要杰拉来救了。
得抽到杰拉才行哦。
Oh, I think it was. I think he lost streaked for it.
有
就只能
点难上吧。
上葵桑提和皇子中的一个了，因为你爱奇必上嘛。
What does he want? Flicker blades? Fish bones?
要杰拉，
杰拉不同意，杰拉好像来了。
Wait, you got Zyra.
来了，但是这波
Flicker blades. He won the game.
超能刀受刃。
Wait, this guy's on check. He won the game.
逆传奥义，但这波上来
Oh my god. He got Radiant, Rage Blade, Flicker Blade, Zyra on his 4-2 roll
打
down
到后排了。
with 7 crystal.
确认点完了2个蚂蚱，残局没塔过，但是这波
Oh
没关系
my god
吸水晶叠得很快一层，直接一次加67。等2
Everyone I've seen play Yuumi has gotten 8. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't do well with Yuumi. I just think that like it's unlikely that you do well with
水
Yuumi.
晶玫瑰。
I'm sure that isn't like listen guys.
2星的艾希，
5.0 AVP doesn't mean 8 and 40% top 4 rate is not 0. So there's probably spots you can play Yuumi. It's just probably rare.
那个层数的。然后当时是有亡命之徒，那个是能算的。嗯。
And sometimes you play Yuumi because you want like a good 6 or something like that,
运气确实不是很好。
which does exist. Good 6s do exist, especially on this patch.
完全抽不到。
In my YouTube video that I did to cover the tier, I did a tier list video last night for TFT Academy for the YouTube. I kind of go over stuff like this. Sometimes you just have to like commit and be okay with your placement.
还行，对，点掉了，2条命都点掉了。
I would say in this meta right now, you just have to like
水晶开始发东西了。
you just have to be okay with sometimes getting like a 5th or 6th if you just recognize that other people have better reroll
再加上一
spots.
个最强
最强的普通装，对的，
全队。
3个最强，强联合。
What was actually the reason for Riot to shift active counterplay out of TFT? What do you mean by that? I don't think they shifted active counterplay out of TFT. I think that's
顺带可以地下杰拉。
对，有机会852。
而且现在
I'm not sure I know what
装
you're
备上来说我觉得
referencing.
因为前排有葵桑体，后排有艾奇，其他装备都是天头。
Is flexible gaming dead?
后面再
This set, flex gaming is definitely not a thing. I would say that flex exists. I would say that
但其实我是没有
I would say that there's not many versions of flex remaining, and the few that are like not even that flexible. So yeah, I would say flex gaming is not very much around right now. But the thing about flex is like everyone keeps saying like flex is dead or whatever. It's like it can easily come back like next set. I don't know. I feel like it's really interesting because it's not like other things in other games where like once things are down a certain path, they're kind of set in zone. TFT could theoretically just reset next set. Next set, they just literally bring down everything in power, and all of a sudden, flex is back. And also, flex has so many different definitions. Like some people think flexing is playing 10 different comps on the patch, and that's not flexing, in my opinion. If you know how to play 10 to 12 comps in a batch, but you basically hard commit at 2-1 and you roll for the exact 6 to 8 units every single game, is that flexing? Not really, in my opinion. But like some people would define that as flex. What flex gaming do you say currently exists? Well, there's certain comps. Like for example, I think Jinx right now is actually a flex 4 cost. Sometimes you play Jinx, like you just play Jinx and you just pair together whatever. Like they actually did a good job with Star Guardians this patch. Star Guardian, guess what, guys? No one's talking about it, but Star Guardians is no longer the vertical that you play. Instead, you play 3, 4, 5 Star Guardians and somewhere in between. And depending on what you hit, if you hit Volibear, if you hit Cassante, if you hit Varus, if you hit Malzahar, if you hit Poppy, if you hit like Braum, it all kind of changes what happens with it. And Jinx is actually a flex 4 cost right now, but it's just really hard to pull off. So that exists right now. I would say that there's also comps that have flex spots, and that dynamic is interesting. So I think Mentor Mech, for example, has 1 flex spot, but that spot could be Volibear, it could be Akali, it could be Yone, it could be Lee Sin, it could be Zyra. And that also changes depending on like your itemization of what's optimal and things like that. So there's things you can do. It's just not very common. It's just not very common. And then there's compositions where you roll for the exact same 8 units every single time, and that's like the overwhelming majority of comps, which is not interesting to a lot of players. This guy actually did go Yasuo. So like theoretically, with this being flexible, people are like, wow, like this is a spot where you had Infinity Edge and then you're willing to play Yasuo instead of like Kai'Sa reroll. And some people would say yes, and I would say that there's a shade of this that is flex, but I would say that I wouldn't define it as flex gaming. This guy's playing Fusion Dance Darius, by the way. Oh, investment strategy, Fusion Dance Darius? Okay, I see the vision. He has heavyweights gain more and more HP. Okay, so the 3 people who are on check are people who are at 20 points or above. So we have 1, 2, 3, and Carelessd is currently the person that's win streaking. LiTuChuan has 7 crystal gambits. He actually lost recently. Shadow clone. Okay, I don't know, man. I feel like he's gonna hit the point of no return. I'd be surprised if Carelessd can outcap this. Frodan played a Volibear Jinx in Trials very flexibly and went first, so it's not dead. It's not dead, it's just hard. It's just hard to play. I think another thing too is also like the risk and reward ratio is like pretty off. The risk of playing flex is things could blow up in your face and you go 8th really badly. And then the other, but the upside of it is not, it's not worth, right? The juice ain't worth the squeeze. It's so much easier just to play inflexibly and just to commit. But I'm pretty sure the TFT AI is willing to play more flex in a lot of metas where people would consider it to be inflexible. Not this meta. I think the TFT AI would play very similar to humans in this patch. But I would say that in other patches, in other sets, the TFT AI would play pretty flex. Just got home. Is CN playing anything we aren't? Well, look at what's going on here, man. Do you see anything interesting? Oh my god, wait. Yasuo wrecked. Oh no, he took a little bit too long. He's on the wrong side.
加一点流血的伤害。这个
But this guy's playing Bastion Yasuo. He one-shot the Ashe. Unfortunately, he one-shotted the clone Ashe.
6连胜的李图川，战斗学院转，
Bastion Yasuo, Crystal Gambit.
那个卡特还在吗？
关少爷好像就是。
对，拿到了。
What's the TFT AI? Oh, it's just like a theoretical concept, right? Like, if we program the perfect TFT AI, what would they play like? It's basically another way to describe what is the theoretical optimal line of play. But there's also the problem with that is that there's a lot of practicality to it that you have to consider, which is TFT is like too, like doing a nuanced roll down is actually really hard if you are open to more than 2 lines. And there's immense skill with that kind of decision making. I mean, this guy's playing Yuumi, by the way, fully adapted Garen Yuumi. We also have Katarina. I mean, I just think CN plays a pretty wide variety of comps. They click every hero augment no matter what, it feels like. They also play like interesting stuff like Katarina, Smolder top 4 today. Yeah, Bastion Yasuo. I think LiTuChuan hit critical mass. I think because I know this tournament ends in 5 games, and I think it's not Carelessd. I think it's LiTuChuan. Are there games that just aren't top 4able because of bad augments? That's an interesting question that I think a lot of players don't necessarily agree or disagree. I would say that in most patches in TFT history, every game is theoretically top 4able. I've asked many top players, do you think some games are truly top 4able? And a lot of times people say no. It's like there's too many decisions that mistakes are being made. I think that I personally am certain this Katarina got a good wrap on the Shadow Clone. Oh, and a TP to the top left? That's crazy. I think every game you can avoid 8th for sure. I think there's no such I think 8ths are 100% avoidable. I don't know about 7ths though. Sometimes I feel like 7ths are like a good result. And then basically it basically stacks from there. Like I think 7ths are basically almost all inviolable, but like maybe you'll like search for like 1 game out of thousands that you play. And then like 6th is like a little bit above that, and then 5th and above I feel like you can get almost every game. I basically would say that you should never look at a 6th and below and feel like you couldn't have that you played perfectly. I think you could say that you did the best that you could. I say that a lot. I did the best that I could because I like either I don't know or I'm too stupid or I made mistakes, whatever. But oh my god, okay. If this guy wasn't playing Crystal Gambit, I think this Darius setup is actually mega. I think he actually could win against everything that is in Crystal Gambit. It is actually insane. His Darius, he has investment strategy, trifecta. There's just too much stuff. Oh, the CC. That's too big. That's too big of a deal. Oh, man. How could it be possible to always avoid 8th if someone else goes? Oh, we're talking about like if you as the human play against the humans. If you're talking about 8 perfect AI, then yeah. If you want to be, I mean, that I feel like if you're making that argument, you're just kind of missing the point. You're like doing the well. Technically, if there are 8 perfect AIs, someone has to go 8th play. Well, yeah, that's not the situation we're talking about, man. Extrapolate a little bit based off of the context of the discussion we're having, man. Please. Yeah, the Ashe player's not. No, the Crystal Gambit player is too strong. I feel like Darius needs CC immunity. I think that's why Titans is pretty good because he ends up getting too strong. We're talking about like if you are like from you, the individual who is seeking maximum excellency and optimization at a human level, then yeah. Like every 8th is avoidable. Every 7th is most likely avoidable. Every 6th is probably avoidable. I don't know about 5th plus is hard for me to say though.
无敌啊！
锁下这两张盲僧，而且又发了个司令爪，现在双司令爪了，3司令。
这个太饱满了，吃太多。
It also kind of depends on what you define as like if you were to go TFT as like chess and talk about accuracy score, do you view every bad decision based off of improper line selection as an error? If so, then accuracy scores for TFT are immensely low. I think most people's accuracy scores are like in the 30s and 40s. And at high levels, like 50, 60. And like the best games that ever were played by some of the best TFT players, like maybe hit in the 90s one time. And those were like simple games where like you got the best hero augment. What was the best? Story Weaver Garen, and you had 7 copies of Garen, and you had perfect items, and you just made like basically the right decisions across the board. Sometimes they play themselves. But if you were to believe like within reason of like what humans can and can't do, then a lot of TFT's players' accuracy score is like probably like 80%, 70, 80%. Sort of depends on how you define that. Okay, I think that's it. LiTuChuan should win the game. I think Crystal Gambit. I mean, I actually think this Yasuo board is interesting. I should try to see if I can get a spot for it. I don't know when you should play it. I don't know when you should play it, but he does play. He plays 6 Bastion, Socialite, Yasuo 3. There's got to be something here. This might be the sleeper comp. Okay, but okay, how do you actually hit Yasuo 3 when there's 3 mech player or mentor players in the lobby? That's what I want to know. Okay. I mean, cool comps. China definitely cooked some stuff today. They definitely cooked a little bit. I saw Yasuo reroll. I saw Smolder. Saw a lot of Jinx. Saw a lot of hero augments. I mean, this guy tried to play reroll Garen. He actually played reroll Garen Yuumi. That's something that we didn't even talk about as well. The guy that got 3rd place when fully adapted reroll Garen. So like that's kind of cool. Like no hero augment. So there's definitely like stuff that they do that's like different. But yeah, game 5 and LiTuChuan is the winner. The stakes of this tournament, let's go ahead and look at it real quick. TFT Wikipedia real quick. The way I find out this tournament is like let's look at Wikipedia. This ended yesterday and LiTuChuan won. Carelessd scored the most points, so checkmate, haha. What are the stakes of it? $20,000 prize pool. I think it qualifies them to regionals. So I think LiTuChuan now gets the regionals. Yeah, looks like the winner of it auto qualifies, and then top 4 qualifies to the regional final. Wait, what? Oh, Shunga already auto qualified. Okay, yeah. So it's basically these players qualified to regional finals. Okay, cool. GG's. All right. So if you guys want to check out, like, if you guys are like, oh, I came in late, what did they play? I post this in my Discord, free to join for anybody. We also yap a lot about TFT. If you're a sub, especially, come hang out in sub chat. We just basically yap about TFT. Hi, sub chat.